Hello, everybody. Welcome back from the break. And you are watching Game Masters right here on the GDQ Hotfix. I'm your host, Kiara_TV, as always. And we've got an exciting, solid, long show of Super Metroid today. And, when you think Super Metroid, you may be thinking, the classic 80% runs, the 100% runs. We got a couple little variations here of categories that you may not have seen too much of here, brought to you by some absolutely amazing runners. Before we get into that, I want to remind everybody that if you'd like to support GDQ Hotfix, check out the 2024 Season 4 shirt at theyeti.com/GDQ. And you could also join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for more information. So we're going to start off with a max percent Suitless run by MM2 NES cartridge. MM2, I'd like for you to tell me a little bit about this before we actually get in and start the timer.
Absolutely. So hi, my name is MM2 NES cartridge. I run this game, and this is max percent Suitless. It's exactly what it sounds like on the tin. It's a 100 run, but you don't get the suits, so you get the other 98 items. But you're not allowed to pick up the suits at any juncture in the run. So yeah. And then this run will be commentated by my three lovely friends, Eddie, MGA, and Prof. Y'all want to introduce yourselves?
We'll start with Eddie.
My name is
okay, we'll start with MGA.
Oh.
I'm bad.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
There was a little bit of silence, and I was like, "Oh no! I need to cue which one's going to go first." And the chaos has ensued. All right, Prof, let's start.
All right, so I'm Professor School. Folks call me Prof. I'm a speedrunner here. Super Metroid is sort of my primary game. Been in the community about 5 years now, and I'm really interested in sort of learning and describing some of the obscure tech. This run is perfect for that, so I'm really excited to get into it with everyone here. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
All right, MGA, what about you?
Yeah, I've been running this game for like a long time, like 8 or 9 years at this point, almost. And yeah, I love like the obscure category. Is going to be doing a couple of that, but for right now, it's max percent Suitless. This run is like just so bonkers. There's a lot of like really cool tech to watch. So yeah.
Yeah, if you go to the speedrun.com leaderboards and you go look at the category extension of Super Metroid, you're going to see like MGA near the top in pretty much every one of those. And I was running Club Nintendo %. That's how I was like, who is this guy that is just on top of everything? Who runs every single category of Super Metroid? And it's like, MGA's got to be near the top in terms of categories run. And last but not least, we have the wonderful Eddie. Just Eddie. Eddie on its own. Hello.
Yep, just me. Yep, my name's Eddie. I'm primarily known as an 80% runner for Super Metroid. It's funny. I feel like I'm one of the older people, but MGA has been around here for much longer than me. But yeah, I've also been here for about 5 years now in the community. I'm primarily known for like map randos and stuff like that. But I do those, but I'm here to commentate, and I'm really excited to be here and hang out with my friends.
Awesome. Well, MM2, I don't want to keep you any longer. Whenever you are ready, go ahead and get us into it.
All right. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's do it.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Series.
And what a great place. You gotta do it on every run. But yeah, so max percent Suitless. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. A friend of mine, Kaizenton, has actually devoted a lot of his time playing this game to this category specifically. He's completed multiple runs of this category in every boss order. So he does just a lot of different ways to this category. I try to focus on the more optimal routes. So for right now, I say right now, the current most optimal route that we know of is what he coined as the Moon Boost route. So called because we do Moon Dance and X-Ray D-Boost very early in this route. And then the boss order ends up being KDRP, which is short for Kraid, Dragon, Ridley, Phantoon in that order. Typical Hundo, you want to get your suits quickly. Obviously, that's not true for this. So the main goal is to get the energy we need to get through Upper Norfair quickly, get the high jump speed booster, grapple, ice, all that stuff, so that we can get into Meridia, clear that, and get the space jump for Lower Norfair. And then after that, we can blaze the rest of the game with full movement and get everything done really quickly.
Yeah, I think this is a great time to point out that when you see someone do a casual playthrough of this game, and for that matter, when you do a speed run of this game, you are almost invariably picking up both suits, Varia and Gravity. The notion that you're going to, like, okay, you play casually, you miss a couple missile packs, no big deal. You go back and find them later or not, whatever. Maybe you miss like a beam or something like that. You don't realize where plasma is. It's totally fine. But like, you just don't casually play Super Metroid and miss the suits. You just don't, right? So the notion that we're going to go through this and actually choose to leave them both out and get all the rest of the items, to me, is like one of the more bonkers ideas about how to run Super Metroid, and it's going to have to lead to some really, really wild tech that I cannot wait to get into today.
Yeah, one thing I really like about this game in general is like it doesn't really force any one item like that you absolutely have to get, except maybe morph ball bombs, though I'm sure there's glitches around it. But like, yeah, you just don't have to pick up the suits. You don't have to pick up Space Jump. You don't have to pick up Gravity Suit, Varia Suit. Heck, you don't even have to pick up most of the beams. It's just really neat that there's that much variability in this. I'm looking forward to Suitless Meridia because I've gone through Meridia quite a bit myself without suits and like map randos and stuff. And like I can think of a route to Dragon, but then I was like, oh, you have to get all the items in there. That's going to be such a pain.
Yeah, and there's some special tech in particular in this run where we use a glitched X-ray beam called R mode, which we will talk about in depth when it comes to that because it's kind of the coolest and most important part of the run. But we're going to essentially generate a permanent blue suit through a glitch that we do, and that is going to be how we break through one of those underwater speed blocks to get that 100% or 98% even possible, because there's just things in Meridia that you need Speed Booster and Gravity to get in a normal playthrough that we're going to just completely bypass how that works. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yes,
The sheer amount of things you can do in Super Metroid to essentially glitch out and beat the game, like Kiara, you alluded to earlier, saying, oh yeah, like maybe you might have to have Morph Ball. Well, there are technically ways to morph without Morph Ball. Can't really do it in this situation, but like there is a lot of stuff you can do in this game, and we're gonna get a good showcase of it.
Yeah, so what's up first? It's the first major sort of sequence break that we're gonna get here. That you don't normally see anyway is gonna be Moon Dance. That's gonna be about 6 minutes into the run. Do we know exactly? Was it ED who discovered like the notion of moon dancing? It started with Moonfall, obviously, which is like 7 or 8 years ago. But do we know when the first time Moon Dance was actually used?
Used in like an RTA run was by Shiny Zenny in his RBO runs, but I think
it was Zenny and RBO.
Yeah,
okay.
The specific setup was found by Snick, because like Moon Dance and like Moonfall, like these concepts were kind of known, discovered by Edie, but Snick is the one who came up with like that interesting like bomb placement that you might see in like RBO and stuff like that. Like, why are the bombs being broken in this way, and like how is that helping with Moon Dance? And I think we'll explain that a little bit further. But yeah, that was a setup found like around 2017, 2018 by Snick.
Yeah, and obviously it was Zenny that did the first RTA demonstration of it. But man, the stuff that we're about to see, Kiara, I can't even tell you. This is like, it's such ridiculous. It's like such an insane level of Super Metroid that we're gonna get into it. It's gonna be great.
I intentionally left myself in the dark on this. Just because I want to see it unfold. Yeah, I've never seen.
Oh, that's so great.
This will be excellent.
I've never seen a full max percent suitless run. Yeah, I had plenty of time to go watch tonight. It was a conscious choice. Like, no, I want to see it live.
Oh, holy smokes! I'm so stoked that you have no idea. This is great.
Yeah, I don't even think I know exactly what's going on. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it.
Why did I bring you to the show, Eddie?
Yeah, we have Prof and MGA. We have Prof and MGA who commented for 30 years of speed, and then
all right,
y'all two get to experience
say goodbye to Eddie, who will provide no valuable commentary during this run.
Yeah.
I thought we just brought Eddie in here to bully him.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wasn't the one who decided to bring Eddie in. No.
MM2, watch it.
All right, so you're about to see what is, for most people in a casual, or like their first like sort of speedrun attempt, is like the first real sequence break. This is this nice little mock ball here, so without speed booster, we can actually get under these gates. Nicely done, very, very nice. And this is what it allows us to do is grab this early super pack. Normally, you'd need to go to Spore Spawn. We ain't fighting Spore Spawn.
Here comes the
Ain't no
D-boost.
way.
No DLC. Whoa!
So
I was like, why are we going over here? It's like, oh yeah, duh. I'm so used to just falling down there and just piecing out. It's like, no, we got to get all these items.
Yeah, usually in 90% you kill that guy because you want his drop. But here we shoot him once so that he's in a better spot for the D-boost versus hitting us before we get the item, which would happen if we didn't shoot him.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Emma, too. I think not only, obviously, we have to grab these for Hundo, but that reserve tank is going to be extra useful later on to do a glitch. I believe we're going to be doing Armo Blue Suit.
Yeah, Prof mentioned it a little bit earlier, but yeah, that is the one and only reserve tank we'll get before it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that reserve tank is critical for what we're about to do here in a moment. Well, we're coming up on Moon Dance, so we alluded to this being like the Moon Boost route, and the Moon Dance part of it is about what's going to come up. So Moonfall is essentially something that we can do to uncap Samus's fall speed. You can see just falling through this room right here, Samus has just normal fall speed. We can actually uncap that so that she can fall at incredibly high rates, and you're about to see MM2 do some really wild bomb blocks here. So you're going to set this bomb block up in a very particular way to keep Samus locked in so that now you see that Samus is not falling out of the wall. And now what MM2 is doing is 177? Oh, goodness.
76?
How many is it?
76, I believe.
176 consecutive
176.
moonfalls. So, what? So you'll see, so you'll see what's happening is back and forth. We're doing 176 consecutive moonfalls. Every time you do that, because Samus is trapped in these blocks, she continues to store her fall speed, and every time she gets a little bit faster until she's going so fast that you will see her clip through the block that she is standing on. And then as long as you don't do anything like take knockback damage or jump or do anything that would reset your vertical fall speed, you are going to be able to go back into the next room and see something absolutely wild. I'm not even going to say what it is yet. We're just going to wait for it to happen, and then you'll see sort of the product of this.
So how precise is this wiggle back and forth? It's like you're holding and just tapping left and right. Is that something I can do? Is that something anybody can do? Or is this
slowly?
Like, oh, you're
you could do it
just feeling
slowly.
ridiculous? What?
Yeah, what Eddie just said. So did you see that? So MM2 just clipped through that floor?
Hold on a second. That's illegal. You can't just go through the floor like that.
Mildly corrupt.
Yeah,
well,
that's
you
a
can.
powerbomb block.
It looks way cooler if I do it right. But ideally what you want to happen is you want to change pose and get through the shot block as well. And then there's a solid block below that. You can clip through that, and then you can go through all the way to the bottom of the room in one moonfall. But
yeah.
get through just fine.
To answer your question, Kiara, as Eddie said, you could totally do this right now. The thing that makes it hard is doing it quickly, because essentially anything, if you don't do it correctly, you will end up resetting Samus's fall speed and you'll have to start all over. Doing it slowly, though, is totally reasonable. MM2 probably did that in like, I don't know, 70 seconds, which is kind of nuts.
No, that was at least 77.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
I think
my favorite
I would say
moonfall
it's
in
in like
the
the
game right
77,
here.
82 range. It was pretty good, but it wasn't like my best.
Yeah.
My best all time is 69 seconds room time.
Nice.
Yeah, which is just like another planet,
And like
really.
for comparison, Moondance and Zenny's RBO run is, I believe, 75 seconds room time.
Wow, so you're essentially like the RBO world record holder, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I definitely have a 56 RBO.
Yep.
No, I have a
Practically the same
108.
thing.
I'm not gonna go fact check any of this information.
Yeah, Zenny is watched. That's all I'm saying.
Wow, current any percent world record holder.
Yeah, not to mention the vast amount of other categories he also has record in.
Right. So, but anyway, so what we accomplished there essentially was we clipped through that powerbomb block. so we could get into that green Edecunes area early. It makes our cleanup a little efficient, and also gets us a set of power bombs that we need to clear all of Pink Brinstar here. And so now you're going to see just a little bit of resource collecting for essentially the ability to do a Crystal Flash. So this is where we're just going to get a little bit of a cleanup here, get us closer to our 98%, and pick up the resources that we're going to need, because a big part of this run, when you're doing Suitless Meridia and Suitless LN, is going to be health and resource management. It's going to be a really, really big part. And so we're going to collect as many things as we can now to make the later part of the run easier. I will say, to mention Kaizentim, who has the second place time in the leaderboard for this category, does a completely different route. One of the things that MM2 does here is he does not go to Fantune early. That's by going to Wreck Ship early, you get to collect a lot more resources. We're not doing that here, so that just adds to the challenge that MM2 is sort of showing off today, because you have way fewer resources than you otherwise would have for this run.
That was a sick wavegate setup.
TY.
Yeah, and you'll see that pretty often in like randos, right? Like nice little bootless wavegate setup.
Yeah, it's just something you refine over time, being sweaty. But yeah, but yeah, I would say even bigger than doing Wreck Ship late is doing Retro Brinstar late with that E-Tank and the super inclined supers I'm not getting before Lower Warfare. There's just a lot of stuff that I will be missing out on. I think it adds up to 3 E-Tanks and 3 super packs versus like what you could theoretically get before Lower Warfare if you did everything. No, 4 E-Tanks and 3 super packs.
Point is, it's harder.
Yeah, I'm making the route harder because it's faster.
Right. Oh, good question in chat here. MM2, are you playing on your keyboard or are you playing on Hitbox?
I'm playing on the keyboard box.
Wait, what? Hang
Keyboard
on.
box.
So it's a custom controller for console made for me by my good friend Jester Zooks, who is a notable Super Metroid community member. He's great. It's basically a hitbox with keyboard keys.
Okay, that's interesting.
But it works on a console. That's what matters.
All right, MM2, I'm going to live teach you something here about your speed run so you can actually be sweaty. Do you want to learn something live?
Absolutely, Prof. I would love to learn something live.
Okay, so every single time you go in an item fanfare and your morph ball is going one direction and you hold the other direction on the D-pad to get out of that animation.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to hold down, right?
You're just not supposed to hold anything. When you hold left, you actually you like slingshot back to the right, and you're actually losing very costly frames there.
Yeah, I should probably reset in my case, right?
You probably should reset. Yeah, you've done it twice already, so that's like 20
we're
frames.
13 minutes
It's over.
in. We only have to cut one of MGA's runs to accommodate that. So you're gonna have to
most
get
people want
MGA
one.
approval for this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like everyone's having fun with this run.
Sorry, MJ. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Jay cut from GDQ Hotfix
Yeah, I'll just pack
live.
up my bags and leave. See you guys.
We're just gonna slowly lose people over the course of the show as they get just demoralized and demotivated.
Yeah. So now we've cut
how long
Eddie,
have you
we've
been
cut
playing?
Prof. Now who are we cutting next? No, not Prof. We've cut MGA. We haven't cut Prof yet. But maybe me saying that means we should cut Prof next.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I've already been cut. MM2, how long have you been playing SM?
5 years. And a
5
month.
years. Really? Only 5 years?
Yeah.
Huh. Wait, so you've been playing as long as me?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I started February 2020.
Oh, okay. I think you've been around like a little bit longer than
Yeah,
me.
you're the
I think I was
zoomer in this
towards the
call.
end.
And
I know, I am the zoomer. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Real
Because
ones
Prof
remember.
beats me by a little bit. MJ beats everyone.
That's the cool thing about these communities, right? I feel like I'm one of the older people in the community, but I'm actually the zoomer when it comes to the speed run, so it's kind of funny.
I did SMZ3 in 2019. I'm not sure that counts though.
It counts, absolutely
You
counts.
played the video game.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I
It
have
was near
everyone
when I
beat.
played
Playing the
Super
video
Metroid for
game
the first time.
counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing this game on like opening weekend release in 1994,
Wow.
and I've been trying to. Yeah, I mean, like my buddies and I we loved the notion of like sequence breaking. Like, I'm not playing this game the normal way. How can I do this? So like, I remember discovering how to do like early mock ball before I knew what speedrunning was. Just like I loved playing around with stuff. All right, so here we go. We're actually getting into something important here. So we talked about Moon Booster out. So we got our Moon Dance. And now we're doing this early X-ray here.
Can't fall here.
Okay, Eddie, maybe you would.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
GGs.
Yeah, he said I can't fall here because it's impossible to fall. I've never fallen there before.
So I will point out, really cool there, it is on 3 tanks, so it's a little bit of extra energy. You can do it with quite a bit less, but you can tell that MM2 used very, very little energy there overall, and he was intentionally taking hits off those waivers, because the waivers do 10 damage and the spikes Suitless do 60. So it was really, really nicely done, strategic use. Here, you'll see how bad the spikes are here. Oh God.
Oh, gosh.
You need just enough to get
There
out.
we go.
And there is another hit intentionally off the waiver, which is 10 damage, and then you get those sweet, sweet iframes. Yeah,
There we go.
really, really nicely done there.
all right.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I think Nada would know better than me, but I've heard that the spikes give you 60 decimal iframes, and the enemies give you 96 decimal iframes, which is hexadecimal 60 iframes. So there's theories that it's a mistake by the devs that enemies give you more iframes than spikes. But
It's like a coding error, essentially.
yeah,
Is that why it's
interesting.
easier to damage boost off of spikes?
yeah, because they give you less iframes, and they also have a bigger window for you to damage boost on. I believe it's 10 frames for spikes versus 5 frames for enemies versus 4 frames for enemy projectiles.
For enemy projectiles, yeah. So the deboosting, how easy it is to deboost has to do with how many frames of knockback you get, essentially, because you need to initiate the deboost within those 4, 5, or 10 frames of knockback. Oh, boo. That's okay.
It's fine.
And MM2, I can't believe you're getting X-ray early. That's crazy. What's X-ray gonna do for you? All it does is scan and see blocks, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted it. Like it's a good friend. I was missing it.
I mean,
I don't know.
you can
Or
always
maybe-
ask me, like, if
Yeah,
you
or
don't
maybe
know where the
Beef
items
Robber.
are.
Yeah, or maybe Beef Robber paid me money to get it early. I just didn't need to. But no, yeah, X-ray is a very valuable item in the speedrun. We have to find other ways to do important things like shine sparking underwater. And X-ray will help with that. It'll also help with the acquisition of Spring Ball, which will be much later. But yeah.
All right.
And
No
upgrade.
DLC, right? We'll never see.
No,
the DLC.
I patched out standard upgrade in my game.
Well, it depends. Yeah, it depends on the emulator you're playing on, I guess, right?
Okay, emulator.
Hello, Kraid.
Goodbye, Craig.
Bye, Kraid.
Just comes up to say hi, and you feed. Yeah, the lore here is you feed him because he's hungry, right? So you feed him some missiles. You're like, nom 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 nom. He's like, thank you, and then goes back down.
Wait, MM2, I think you forgot an item. You left
No,
your area behind.
I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
wait.
There, bud.
Wait, MG, MM2, that's a really important item. I think you got to go
Chat,
back.
I cannot believe
this is a random.
that
Like,
MGA
are you
or
really think
FMG
checking that's worth it?
forgot the item. Yeah, I can't believe that.
It's okay. It's too slow to go back now. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's too late now. You can't get it. Yeah.
It is too late now. Yeah, we're just gonna have to go
Yeah.
without it.
It's fine. It's not gonna be anything important, right? Right?
Nope.
Right.
Nah.
I
Okay.
doubt it.
Yeah.
This is a rando, right? It was
Yeah,
like a
that
missile pack
check
or
is always
something.
junk. It's just going to be like 5 rupees or a missile pack.
It's not worth going through the door transition.
Rupees. That's what it is. In 98% suitless, both suits are actually just 5 rupees.
Yeah, or 1 arrow.
Oh, the single arrow would be great.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay. So now we get to do Norfair. The biggest point of doing trade before Norfair is because we want that E-tank refill before ice, and we can get the ice beam now when we have full health, and then we'll have another E-tank refill from high jump before we do Belt Mountain. So
Are you going to have to save
Yeah.
E-tanks for later when you traverse here for Lower Norfair? Lower
yeah,
Norfair?
there aren't really enough E-tanks here, and they're not convenient enough to make it worth it. I think
Yeah, and we
TAS
will have the Nutella refill station before we go into LN. We'll have a save and a refill right before that. So
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I think
I forget where
80%
all
TAS
the
gets high
save
jump
refill
for help.
stations are, honestly. And then we got the Sloater's refill room, the classic.
Shots of
Oh,
slutters.
sick. Let's go. I love the strat.
Excellent.
Yeah.
nice ice escape. GG's.
I developed this business center trip for this category, and then I discovered that I could use it at 90% because QD told me that it's faster to do ice before high jump by half a second, but you lose farm, so it's bad for PRKD. But I do PKRD, so I can make it worth it.
I like that weave. That was pretty sick.
TY.
Yeah, that's a nice little weave. The other advantage of doing ice here before high jump is we burn through the Hell Run E tank, through the Hell Run energy, and then we do the E tank sort of on the back end here to refill. And I'm assuming we're doing a safety save here before we go into the Hell Run. Is that right?
Let me flip a coin real quick. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey.
No, I will be saving. Yeah. I have to save here so I can repeat 30 years of speed.
Well, I'll say it, this is already a massive improvement over 30 years of speed where you tried to do iceless ice escape.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you tried to set up the rando trick iceless ice escape, and we're like, oh, is this like a flex or something?
Did I get it? I can't remember.
You did not, which made it even worse.
Yeah. But yeah, also a big improvement of Moondance is that I get to get this item on the first pass. Back when I was running routes that didn't have Moondance, I would have to get an extra E-Tank like from Blue Brinstar or from Gauntlet in order to make this Hell Run doable while getting the item. And eventually I just decided I was going to get Cathedral at the end after Lone Archer because it was only 4 seconds slower to do that route, according to, I think, Sisream's timing.
Nice ice stairs.
I don't know. Sisream's timing are not to be trusted because he's essentially a cyborg when it comes to playing this game.
Yeah, doesn't have the
Not
max tag,
not
still like IMO top 5 runners all time. I don't know. He's really, really good.
Definitely like the most underrated, I think, in the community for sure.
Absolutely. I don't think it's
that was
close in that regard.
Yeah, excellent Hell Run, by the way, MM2. That's it can be really tricky. You know, getting that Cathedral Missile Pack burns through a ton of energy because you're both taking heat damage and the lava damage, Suitless. So making it to this point here with that much, like a whole energy tank to spare is pretty sick.
Kind of getting scamped on drops here, though. That was a close call.
All these
To
small
be
holes.
fair,
Getting
my
scammed on
execution
drops.
is not helping. But yeah, we want to get up to about 4. And, like, this is probably good. I'll just do one more for fun.
Or miss it entirely.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine too.
Rub it in my face, Rob, why don't you? But yeah, this is all we need to get speed and speed missile, and then we'll farm up to full for wave. But we also do need a full reserve at this point in time.
Full reserve? Why do you need a full reserve?
Well, Eddie, you'll find out.
Okay, all right. Just like why you got that X-ray, I have no idea. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I legitimately
much
have
you
no idea,
actually-
other than I'm aware that X-ray can do some stuff. What that
Yeah,
stuff
so
is, I don't know. But I know
will
it can.
describe that for you, Kiara. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
The only X-ray tech I'm familiar with is the microwave, which I'm a big fan of on Dragon.
Hey, I will say that is
Microwave's
like
pretty sweet.
the most useful X-ray tech there is, and it's really not close. Aside from, well, scouting rounds. Yeah, I would love some big healths. That would be truly excellent.
Yeah, normally if you get about 60 health ticked up on one of these farms, you know you're in good shape. But when you're getting like 20 or 30, like MM2 is here, it's pretty gnarly.
Okay.
It's just
I'm
bad.
just having a day with these bomb placements. Let's do
Just lay 2 bombs. We've been over this, bud.
Okay, it's fine. I definitely have enough in my reserves, which is 75 plus, and I very likely have full. So it's fine.
Yeah, so essentially what we're working towards here is we have our X-ray, we have our reserve tank, and we are gonna, in a minute, describe essentially something called R mode. you can use X-Ray to enter 3 different glitched modes where you essentially, what you're trying to do is create a duplicate instance of X-Ray. So you use X-Ray essentially twice, but only one turns off. And the second one stays active in a way that makes the entire room look like X-Ray is active, because it is. But normally, right, when you are activating X-Ray, you have to press dash, and Samus is frozen. What you're gonna see when we enter R mode is that MM2 is gonna be moving around as if not holding X-Ray, but it's gonna look like X-Ray is still active. And the properties of R mode or any kind of X-ray engaged mode are really wacky tobacky, and you're gonna just have to see, like, we can do some really, really cool stuff. So
Yeah. But first, Crocomire. That's
Oh,
it.
no.
That's all there is to it. Grapple's great. MG and I both hold this opinion, and it's the truth.
Yep.
But we're doing Suitless Meridia, and we really need all the tech we can get for it. And
You can do so many things with so many amazing things with grapple. And
yeah, there's actually a lot of really cool grapple strats in this run that you don't really see in other categories for obvious reasons.
grapple really is the gift that keeps on giving in this game.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like it because it's very finicky, and that's because it is. But it's like, it's hard to master, but it's very, very cool when you can get to do stuff with it. But Croc needs to have a bad day. There we go.
Pretty friendly Croc RNG though, at least.
Yeah, I think like one swipe, not half bad.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But so what's happening there is I'm firing a charge shot in a precise position so that it will hit a shadow copy of the door on the other side of the room. And that door will already be open for me after this cutscene goes. That's fine. Spike 2 doesn't actually matter. I just go for it. It makes my life easier.
Poor Croc. He didn't deserve this.
What a Croc.
Killed for sport. I still think it'd be an excellent idea for a ROM hack one day to actually make a phase 2 of Croc. Like, Deer Force did all this work and then didn't follow through, so we gotta do something about it.
Such a funny little jump scare. This game is full of stuff like that.
Yeah. It's so sad that the spikes don't even have hitboxes. But such is how it goes.
All right, so after we get this grapple, where are we going next?
So there's a couple regions left. No, it's perfect.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially what MM2 is going to be doing here after picking up this item and grapple is escaping from Croc, and we're going to really want to focus on managing our energy, and we have enough in reserves at this point. So really what it's going to come down to is burning enough energy to get just close enough to where the reserves are going to engage. You can see those yellow arrows up there next to the health tanks, showing that the reserve tanks are on auto. So as soon as you get to 0 health, those reserves will trigger. And that is going to be a key part of entering R mode. So I'll explain what you're about to see when it's going to happen, and I'll try to break down the details of all of this silliness that's about to happen.
Yeah, I think you forgot something
More
there,
items to
Prof.
pick up
but
first, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
I think, yeah, you forgot this item. You got cosign.
I didn't forget. Listen, you're the one with the controller, your keyboard box or whatever.
I have no controller. I don't know what you're talking
driving
about.
this car. You're driving this car. I'm just sitting in a chair on the roof yelling at you.
97%.
Oh my gosh. Now I have a mental image of that in my head. Thanks, Prof. Don't forget that item, you there, young lad. Okay, I'm gonna do the save that Kai bullied me for the other day. Well, not the other day. It was like a year ago when I did 30 years of speed.
Yeah, actually, tomorrow, speaking of that, tomorrow is Super Metroid's 31st birthday. It came out 31 years ago tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that will actually be
Happy
like
birthday,
right at a
Super
year ago.
Metroid.
Happy early birthday. Well, happy birthday to any time zone that is already March 19th for Super Metroid. It's definitely March 19th in Japan, and it's a Japanese release, so
That's true. Already 31 years old.
Oh,
we hardly
wow.
knew you.
You know, I'd not planned that, but I'll take it. Happy anniversary.
Well done, Kiara.
Good planning, Kiara.
Totally
Wow.
planned.
Yeah. All right. So I
Okay,
overfarmed,
so
so I'll sit here for like 30 seconds, actually. Well, prop
Yeah,
tops.
so maybe MM2, is it okay if I explain
for it.
this? All right, so I'm going to try to explain what you're about to see and then break down the details of the silliness after. MM2 is draining down his health right here to get low enough to where a single hit from an enemy in the next room would trigger reserves. And then you're going to see him set up in such a way where he can use X-Ray at the same time that his reserve tank
This
triggers.
is fine. I can reload the room, just lose a super.
Yeah, this is fine. Yep, so the super knocks that
we go.
enemy down, and now he's going to take damage holding X-Ray, and that allows you to trigger your reserves and X-Ray beam at the same time, which is normally not possible. And now what you're going to see is this visual glitch of the room. This is R mode. So it looks like X-Ray is pressed, but we're not actually holding it down. We have an active X-Ray beam that has not despawned. Then this room is also heated, and so MM2 is going to, he did that crystal flash, as you saw immediately, to avoid dying. And now he's going to damage down. Look at that! Look at that!
Wait,
GG's!
Hang on.
Right, so he damaged down his health and then did a shine spark, and in a very specific way took advantage of some strangeness in R mode in order to give Samus a permanent blue suit. So it's kind of a lot, and I think I can get you through this, Kiara. So
Okay,
it's super cool.
I'm gonna need it. Please explain.
Okay, so to enter R mode, you use X-ray scope and you activate your reserve tank on the same frame. It shouldn't be possible, right? So the first thing that MM2 did was enter the room in such a way during a transition that the door scroll allowed him to buffer the use of X-ray. That's how he entered R mode in the first place. There are a few interesting uses of R mode, though. One that matters most importantly to this is getting a blue suit. So what MM2 did was he charged and used a shine spark in R mode, and there's like a wind up animation, right? Like when you use your shine spark, there's actually a moment where Samus winds up before she starts flying across the screen. And that was interrupted by our reserve tank triggering, and that's how you get the glitch that gives you this permanent blue suit. Does that make sense?
I think I got some of it. We're good.
Good job, Prof.
That's about the best explanation you can give.
Essentially what happens is when you are flying across the screen with Speed Booster engaged, the game gives you a blue suit until you crash into a wall, and then the crash animation takes away your blue suit. That's the reason why Samus is invincible when she's flying across the screen. But when you interrupt that shine spark by having a reserve tank triggered during R mode, you interrupt the shine spark and the blue suit never goes away. There's no way for the game to get rid of that blue suit for you, so it just lets you keep the blue suit indefinitely until you do something that burns it. And that's why you see these crazy echoes here. When you're underwater, you don't see blue. Instead, you just see these echoes flying off the back of Samus. And so it's just like you're flying through, like using your speed booster where you're invulnerable to enemies. But now the cool thing is you can just bonk into enemies like you saw right there and do 1 million damage to them and kill them on the spot. It's a super, super cool use of R mode to generate a permanent blue suit to let you get through Meridia. Wow. And what we miss, because I was describing it, is there's that that speed block that in Main Street that MM2 needed to get into to get that missile pack. You can't use Speed Booster without gravity, so we need to generate the blue suit to break that speed block. That's really the main reason why we have this blue suit here.
It spooked me right there.
Yeah.
Oh, it spooked me too. Don't worry. Ideally, I don't miss that grapple.
This little turtle can just, you get stuck in a hitbox and just die. You know?
So yeah, one little thing that happened there, well, could have happened. One thing that is not a good thing with blue suit is that you don't get iframes from many things. So you can actually just get hit like 1 million times every frame by that turtle and like die instantly.
Yeah. The big problem with that is bot swing. But yeah, continue, please.
Yeah, you do need to be pretty careful with blue suit. Make sure that you just keep moving and kill things basically, or they'll kill you very quickly.
Right. I mean, Mama Turtle does what, 200 damage suitless, right? So if you don't have iframes, then every single frame you take 200 damage and you die very, very quickly.
Every 1/60th of a second ish about. So yeah, basically you can die on the spot if you're not careful. To add to the point. Sorry.
Yeah, please go. No, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so to add to the point, for anyone that's maybe ever seen the any percent run for Super Metroid, we do something called like a spike suit typically after killing Dragon to spark back across the Coliseum. Basically, what Prof was saying is essentially during the spark windup, when you start to initiate a spark and Samus sort of like charges up. If that gets interrupted, you will get the blue suit, right? And that's what we use the R mode for X-Ray to get that in the first place. In the any percent run, one of the ways that also gets your Shine Spark interrupted is when you kill Dragon, when Dragon dies, Dragon has a weird property where Samus will stand up no matter what happens. So that's why if you defeat Dragon with a spark, you actually end up getting a blue suit because you're forced into the stand-up, so your Shine Spark essentially gets interrupted. So for anyone that's maybe familiar with the any percent run and has seen this before, it's kind of the same thing. So
it's definitely a very similar concept. So definitely a very good analogy there, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes advantage of a completely wild sort of, I wouldn't call it a coding error. It's just a bit of an oversight.
Yeah.
When you're in a Shine Spark, like right when you're flying across the screen, Kiara, that's like a special palette that's applied to Samus's suit that the game codes for. And the same menu that controls that palette for like when Samus is flashing or anything like that is tied to the Crystal Flash palette, the special animation on the Crystal Flash. And so essentially the two things can get confused in such a way that you can transfer from a Crystal Flash palette to a Flash suit palette, which is how you keep that permanent Flash suit or blue suit. But then it interrupts the timer, and so you just have a permanent Flash suit where you can use a Shine Spark anytime you want. And it's literally just a special palette menu that gets screwed up when you do certain weird things.
Oh, this is suboptimal.
all right. Wait,
So
MM2, how are you gonna
lose
Shine
this?
Spark
Are you
this?
just trying not to spark the whole time?
It's not that bad because I have to charge a spark first if I want to spark.
Oh, okay.
This is
So it's
not like a
you're just
spike suit.
Because spike suit, I remember. Oh, we're climbing.
Yep.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so MM2 had a little kerfuffle there and missed the snail. Normally you do like you use the snail to get up there easily, but fortunately we can do some very, very simple double-sided wall jumps underwater here and get up there without too much trouble.
Hey, MM2, did you forget a missile?
I've heard something like that. Yeah. I actually did, so I will go back for that.
Okay. I like how you're just going down the speed blocks, so you're
Yeah,
supposed to.
this is faster actually.
Yep.
Yeah, this
Wait, you're
is,
supposed to
this is
spark
why we
that.
brought Eddie here to just be the item checker. Make sure we get all 98 non-suit items.
Yep, that was all me.
Yep.
Yep, all me, cousin dude.
Nicely done. That's a little tricky.
Yeah.
I've had to do
Yeah.
that like 2 or 3 times in Map Rando, and I hate it every time. So
Reasonable. It actually is very awkward.
it really is.
Yeah, now you can do this.
The timing,
in the middle,
it's
but again-
not like this one. I like though. When you have one block, that one's
Yep.
great. Yeah, big fan.
Yeah. Then later we'll get to do actual underwater wall jumps. Like the
Oh,
ones I
that's some
taught
real,
way back when.
real cheater tech. Yep.
Well, I'm
You're
actually really
responsible.
excited about the underwater wall jumps because if you look at who's in the call right now, MM2, Eddie, and myself, I think are like 3 people that have like greatly utilized underwater wall jumps, including I don't know if you've done this, Eddie, or not, but I actually do them on controller, which is kind of wild. I think there's a couple other people who can do it on controller, but I think it's cool that underwater wall jumps are going to feature so heavily in this Suitless Meridia, and we actually have like 3 people who I think are among the better ones in the community as far as using those.
Yeah, and I'm one of the old guys who waves their fist at the sky at the young kids who can do way better things than I can.
Yeah.
I can't
I've actually learned how to do it without spin lock because he wants to do it for vanilla. For other randos that don't have that. Okay. Now that we've resolved the beach kerfuffle, you can progress with the speed run and not have the Shine Spark charged.
Oh my god.
That looked very
yeah.
dangerous.
That was very
Yeah, that was a little worrying. I've actually never had that that specific thing happen before. But yeah. And then this room, since we have a blue suit, this is an optimization Kaizenton figured out. You can just go through the left side of that room at the start instead of...
Yep, and then just arm pump all the way. That's nice.
Yeah, quite nice.
All right, Batoon.
Easy, right?
Not really. The fight really sucks.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that flub shot at the start was part of the setup.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an RNG normalization strat for later in the run.
I thought it was an RNG normalization strategy for Botwoon, so you know which hole he's gonna come out of.
Oh, that's really well spotted, Kiara. I totally screwed that up. Thank you.
Yeah, take notes. Okay, look at it. When it comes to...
Oh, I am.
When it comes... look, I have the ability to explain away pretty much anything and make it sound convincing. And, like, if you're not a speedrunner or you actually have the knowledge, you'll buy it. You'll buy my explanation, Garrett.
Shouts to
I can come up
Ivan
with some
and
really good stuff.
Uranium Anchor 92.
I am a speedrunner, and I'm buying your explanation.
There you go. See? Yeah, at any point, ask me to explain a bit of this run, and if you don't run it, you know, chat's gonna...
All right, there we
the
go.
truth.
There is going to be a test on explaining how we get into R mode and generate a blue suit, though, Kiara. So I am going to need you to go ahead and feed all that information that I gave you back to me.
Okay. All right, yeah, so to get into blue spoot, we get into a crystal flash state, right? We transfer that into a shine spark, and then because we're in R mode, it triggers the reserve tank at the same time as a shine spark, so it causes you to stand up, and you know, that's what creates the blue suit. But because we're in this specific R mode, right? What it does is it kind of breaks the timer that tells the game, like, okay, you've been shine sparking after you hit the ground for this, so it'll last for a couple seconds and go away, right? So that kind of gets overwritten in the game's memory. So it kind of like just zeroes out there, and the game doesn't know what to do. So the subroutine in the code, like this whole game has been decompiled, so you can actually go look at this. It does not run, it does not get called, so that's why we can run around right now with the blue suit.
Kiara, that was incredible.
Excellent. Excellent
That was
work.
awesome.
Yeah. Also, we have said goodbye to our friend the blue suit, because it met our friend the full halfie and decided to give itself up for some time save.
Wait, I'm to your health.
Oh, shoot.
what's
I
going on
Watch
here?
out.
I should
Careful,
release
careful.
that.
What are you doing?
Oh, crap. I'm only at 37 health. Is there a way I can get like a lot of health back really quickly?
I don't know.
All right. Surely I
I think
won't
what
hold
you
off.
can do here, though, yeah, there we go.
Let's go!
Oh my
Let's go. Prof, was that a bad spot? Was that a bad spot? Or did I just get owned?
So that was a bad spot.
Ah, dang, okay.
So that was a bad spot. You want to be further over to the right than that.
That makes sense.
And by bad, you mean like 90% bad, right?
Prof would know the odds.
MM2 had like a 10% chance of dying there, and he died, so yeah.
It's okay. It's better than like, it's worse than half the other spots in the room, which are like 97% chances of living, but
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
you know-
honestly, it's probably even higher than 90%. From left to right, you get really bad percentages. When Dragon is going right to left, it's actually like 95 or up, like everywhere, essentially.
it's okay though. Prof, so the story behind that is in the recent multi-category tournament, Prof lost his RBO race to me, dying just like that. And he didn't have a
We were
save.
like 45 minutes into a race.
Yeah.
We were neck and neck. We were like within 5 seconds of each other in an incredibly intense RBO race.
And you never have
I just
RBO
got-
races this good. Like, it's such a
I
volatile
got
category.
owned by Dragon, exactly like MM2
Yeah.
just got owned by Dragon.
Wait,
So
hold on.
What? What do you mean, hold
There's
on,
another
Eddie?
story in the multi-category. Guess who was in the finals, in the final game of the multi-category story? Can you tell me MM2?
So there might have been this guy called Eddie, who also got owned in North Korea percent when he was ahead of me in the same exact fashion.
And guess who got plot armored and I died in that exact same way. And wait, I have a funny story regarding that. You know who was waiting to get dinner with me or lunch with me and couldn't do it because we had to go to the game 3?
It was me. Yes. you
Let's
Wait
go.
a
That's
second.
It comes full circle.
Yeah, I'm sitting here starving. It's like 2:30 because Eddie's in this endless race. So I was like, oh, it's going to be 2-0. It's going to be 2-0 easy, right? It went all 3 games.
Yeah.
And
that's literally how I
thankfully
died.
Eddie did pay for my KBBQ, so I forgive him.
That's how I.
That's how I died. I died in the same way.
It essentially there's like you want to get picked up by the goop there. You need Dragon to goop you, and the goop is RNG dependent, but there are certain spaces on the floor that are slightly better or worse to sit in, and MM2 is in a slightly worse spot and got very unlucky. The goop missed MM2 and then took all the damage from Dragon. But
you don't have
Kiara, you
iframes.
totally could have explained what just happened there because that's exactly what you just told us. It was a crystal flash that was interrupted by Dragon picking you up, and that essentially reset the palette to its default, which was a flash suit, and then we turned a flash suit into a blue suit in the way that you also described, and now we're Bob's your uncle, and now we were able to escape from Dragon's room there using that blue suit.
There we go. No, Bob does work at Nintendo.
Yep. And for all we know, Bob is responsible for that special palette menu issue.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
Bob.
heard the legends. Bob's just a warehouse worker, right? But he came in, saw a computer and some code, and was like, you know what? I think I can make this change here. It'll be better. 30 years down the road, 31 years down the road.
That's right.
The developers listened and were like, yeah, absolutely. This is great. And here we are.
And that's the origin story of Bob the Builder. In this case, building special palette menus.
Yep.
All right, so we're about to get some underwater wall jumps here in a second.
Be turbo safe. And
Do we want to talk about this at all, Eddie?
Yeah. Okay. So wait, hold on. Where are we going first?
Right sandpit?
Right sandpit? Okay.
Yeah.
So underwater wall jumping. It has become a lot more popular recently, but basically you have to do a series of wall jumps where I don't want to explain the exact inputs, but essentially it's counterintuitive. You sort of have to press away from the wall to get sucked back into the wall just because of how the water physics work. So instead of doing like you hold right and then you press left and jump, you kind of do a hold right and then you press like a left, right, left motion, right? So if you're on a regular controller, it is easy to kind of break spin and press up and down and mess up, but essentially you can't normally climb up a single wall underwater, but with high jump and this proper technique, we should be able to get up here. So you're gonna see MM2 do this just to the right of the sandfall. You're gonna see him repeat wall jumps along the side and try to get up here so he can grab this item on the right. So here we go.
Oh
There we
my
go.
goodness, first try.
So sick. Oh my gosh. And that's particularly hard because that ledge, like you need to essentially get up on that ledge and it's not easy.
Yeah, you kind of have to suck yourself into the ledge. But if you do it too low, then you'll fall and you'll be sad and have to do it all over again.
Yeah. That's not a lot of underwater wall jumps. I don't know, that was like 4 or 5. So it's not really, like even on controller, if you learn the rhythm, it's not hard to do. But it is, as Eddie said, it's really counterintuitive because you see casual playthroughs, like everyone struggles with wall jumps. It's just a thing that you have to figure out how to do. Imagine figuring out exactly how to finally get good at wall jumping and realize that everything you were ever doing is wrong and you need to do it completely differently. That's underwater wall jumping.
I actually really like the acquisition of the spring ball. It's really cool. It's something I ended up practicing after watching other two do it actually once, but it's really neat.
Oh, it's a great trick. It was like the one thing I couldn't do that I needed to learn before I actually ran the category. So I had to learn it from, oh gosh, what did I learn it from? I think I learned it from P-Toil's 98% Suitless run and a bunch of ED descriptions. And then I wrote like a mid-tutorial on how to do it.
Now I have a question. Do you use a pause buffer?
Yes.
Okay, because Zenny was just like, yeah, I don't know how to do it with a pause buffer. I just do it like this, and then he just did.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It is
No,
like,
I didn't realize.
originally I did it
times
without
harder
a pause
without
buffer,
the pause
and it's
buffer.
way
I see.
worse.
Okay. Got it.
So can we talk about that? Can we talk about R jump? Because not to be confused with R mode, it's called R jump because at least on a controller, L and R bind to our angle buttons. And so we're going to do a very specific type of maneuver to get up these little one-tile gaps without spring ball or gravity suit.
Might have been early. Yeah, that was early.
Okay, so we're using X-ray to get into position by turning to the right. Essentially, if you interrupt your X-ray, you can put yourself into a forced crouch there.
There we go.
Or a forced stand, and then you turn around and you can do this angle down jump. But maybe MM2, can you're the one who did the tutorial on this. Now that you executed it, can you actually explain what that R jump is and how you managed to get up that one tile gap?
So basically, the way it works is you want to use the X-ray turn to clip into the floor and get yourself 8 pixels more of vertical height to do the jump with, and then from that X-ray turn you buffer down, and that's one of your 2 down presses to morph. And then you do a jump, and you're still crouched, but if you release an angle button at the proper time, you won't get the 8 pixel crouch boost from jumping from a crouch like you would normally, because that's how crouch jumps work. And you jump and you release the angle, so you don't get the crouch boost. That's actually what the R jump is named after, is just jumping from the crouch without getting the crouch boost. And then you use the pause buffer to buffer the second down press, so you can jump and morph insanely faster than like you would be able to normally. And that's
if you want I could also further explain it.
Oh, go for it, please.
Yeah. So essentially, one of the things you can do with X-ray is kind of force yourself into a stand-up position as long as you can kind of unmorph. So what MM2 does in the 2-tile high room is he stands up and then he does a little thing where he jumps and lodges himself into the ground. So you basically need all the height you can get to be able to get that morph in. And one of the interesting properties of this game is if you do a crouch and then you jump, you do a jump and you're 8 pixels higher. That's correct, right, MM2?
Yes,
I think it's 8 pixels.
Yeah. I believe it's 8.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And if you actually are crouching and you hold angle and you jump, instead of being 8 pixels higher, even if you're holding angle, you're actually, I believe, 2 pixels lower. So your jump actually gets worse than normal if you do a crouch. So sometimes if you're fighting Ridley and you're trying to do a crouch jump to jump over Ridley and you're holding angle and jumping, you'll actually hurt your jump if you do that. But by being lower, that gives you just ever so slightly more room to actually get like a jump morph essentially. And so MM2 pauses there to essentially just get like a double down press like instantaneously to have as much space as you can to get into that little hole. So you can do it without pausing, but obviously it's a little bit easier if you do a little pause buffer.
Yeah.
I think if you play Zelda, like Zelda 3, there's a lot of tricks where you do like pause buffers like that. Similar idea.
Yeah. It's basically, you have to press down twice within 5 frames. So we buffer one out of the X-ray turn, and we buffer the other one out of the pause.
Oh, hey, are we getting another UWJ here?
We might.
We are.
Oh my.
Nice little route optimization here.
Yeah.
This was actually like the OG when it was like, what was it, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago in that Rando League.
Yep, it's the infamous one.
Dash recall.
Dash recall. This is the one right here. You're going to use underwater wall jumps, and then wow, that was so fast. Holy smokes.
That was 3.
Yeah, that's almost as fast as you can do it. And having space jump there allows you to, once you see that space jump animation with the underwater wall jumps, allows you to essentially get then above the water by activating your space jump. So you don't even need a ledge to get up onto. You just need to be able to clear the surface of the water. And that was wicked fast. Nicely done.
Yeah, my underwater wall jumps are bad, but my R jump is good. And this run has been basically the opposite. 4th try R jump, but 1st try both underwater wall jumps. So, not too shabby. 20 in reserve is a little interesting. I think I'm just going to farm to full reserve. Then I want to deal with it.
Preparing for a Suitless LN here, essentially.
Lower Norfair without Varia?
Or Gravity.
I think he might have done it a few times, Eddie. Just a few, though.
You can't do that. That's not possible.
Sure.
I don't believe it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess I should probably just give up if it's not possible.
Yeah. You can always go back and get that item you missed back behind Kraid.
No, that can't be anything. Like, what are you saying? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I know we're convinced that it was 5 rupees or an arrow, but I don't know. I have a feeling it could be something good.
Like the hook shot, or like?
Yeah, or maybe like Cane of Samaria, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Kiara, you've done some like rando and stuff, right?
Yeah, I've done plenty of map rando and some SMZ3.
Okay, so you've got like some experience with like hell runs and stuff like that, then, right?
Yeah. I call them heck runs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Trying to work on my language.
Heck.
Of course. Of course.
Can we get some hex in chat? Skybills has an emote that is a censored heck, and it just makes me giggle.
Excellent.
Oh, that's great.
It's
I mean, there
really
was a
good.
time in this community. Where MM2, we couldn't swear around him because he was still a minor. So fortunately, that we don't have to worry about that anymore. But
Wow, Prof outing me right now. This is unbelievable.
but yeah.
in the
So I mean,
olden
have you
days.
done any Suitless Lower Norfair, Kiara?
So I have done some of it with Gravity
I guess
Suit
in
and no Varia
Okay.
Suit, but only in Map Rando. Because I can go through some of these rooms. Like I've done, what's the room called with the power bombs of shame? There's
Wasteland.
Like the big
Wasteland.
huge, and the big huge Omega hoppers. So I've had to go through that room a couple times, Suitless and Map Randos. It's not fun. Usually I have like 7 tanks to get through it because I just take all the hits to the face because I don't actually know how to dodge those guys.
Yeah, so for those folks who have done a little bit of experimenting with that or done some of the, like, let's say harder rando settings, like Highway to Heck or something like that, or if you've played RBO, this is essentially what you are about to see. MM2 is going to pick up just a few more items here and then refill all his health. And we are going to get essentially what I think MM2 has previously... Oh, nice save.
That's a good backup.
Yeah, that's a quality
What
backup.
MM2 has... It's a really good backup,
think I got it
actually.
from
That's well, and with Plasma, that's tricky because you can double hit that Sova.
Not really. You're going so fast down. It's very difficult. Usually, when you get a double hit with Plasma, it's because either you charged your shot or because you were moving like away from the enemy you're trying to hit.
Sure.
You'll notice in the one clip from Hundathon that we all know and love of Main Street, that may have been occurring a little bit.
Yeah, so essentially this is going to be like reverse boss order, which is, of course, Suitless Lower Norfair. MM2 is on the record as saying that this is sleepy RBO because you have all these extra resources. But the thing I'll point out is in RBO, your goal is not to collect all the items. It's to get in, kill Ridley, and get out. Here, we actually need to, because we're playing 98% max percent Suitless, we need to pick up every single item. And so that adds to the complexity and the amount of time you have to spend Suitless. And so this is easier than RBO in that you have better resources, but it is more involved than RBO in that you have to full clear LN. And here is our Suitless Lava Dive. Good luck, have fun.
Oh yes, I had to do this once, and I hated it because you gotta like let go, then you gotta. Oh, you didn't have to stall. Why didn't she have to stall? I always have to stall there. What magic is this? I'm taking notes from it.
So there's 2 ways you can avoid stalling. Number 1 is you can do the normal bounce ball dive and just go really fast, and you can just barely beat the fireball.
Are those global cycles? Or are they?
No, they're not. So what I did is I did 2 jumps at the start of the room, and I loaded on my second jump, I loaded the top Namahe in, and he got a little bit far into his first cycle. So he got his fireball out of the way, and then I went past.
So he got the top left guy on screen for a little bit, and that's why he was able to avoid that cycle.
Yeah.
Remind me, how many power bombs are needed for a crystal flash? Is it 20?
11.
11.
Yeah.
10
Yeah, so
technically, but one you have to lay, so...
Yeah.
Well,
There are 11 power bombs involved in the crystal flash. You can collect.
Yes,
you need to.
that is
collect-
accurate.
Yeah. But there are 11 involved.
Yeah.
That is non-debatable.
So it looks like we got another crystal flash. I imagine is coming later.
Yes,
Let's see how my
couple.
speedrun sense is tingling.
Yeah. This room you can play very aggressive, but I'm not going to.
It's totally not worth
Yeah.
it.
It is actually. It
Knights
takes like
will nuke
3
you.
seconds over
Leaving
that
the
room.
power bomb behind. Oh no.
Yeah, I only have 17 left. What a shame.
GG not falling. Nice job.
Thank you. Now I'll do it on purpose.
GG not
wait.
accidentally GT coding.
This is mildly worrying, but I think I have enough to not worry about it.
You have plasma. You're fine.
I'm not worried about that. Oh, that's worrying.
Just get
about.
good.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
How many reserves are we at? That'll
2.
affect how scared I am right now.
Reserves should be
Reserves
full.
are
You could
full.
pop them here if you wanted to save 25 energy.
Yeah, I think I will. I'm just gonna pop
Yeah.
the first 100 though.
Okay, we got
so if you-
2 of them.
If you let your reserve trigger automatically there, you start taking damage while your reserves are filling. So instead of getting the full 200E, you only get like 175. It wouldn't have mattered in this case because we still had enough energy to get to this refill, but we really do want to save some of our reserves here for what's coming out, just to be a little bit safer. And so not blowing your full reserves there is better than letting them trigger.
God, every health refill is so satisfying. Like, it's like, oh.
That's
Alright.
I mean, I really think Deer Force knew. Like, why else would you put that energy recharge there if you didn't want people to experiment with Suitless LN?
Listen, Prof. We all know you
They
did
probably thought
Suitless Ellen in
Golden Chorizo was
1994. It's okay.
biased.
You don't need to like.
No,
you don't need to
notice
brag
how
about it.
every boss in this game has a refill room or an E-tank nearby? That's right. They want you to refill.
Yeah.
Deer Force knew. Oh, by the way, lovely early shot there, following the shot with the spark to pre-open the door. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, this room wasn't so bad.
Yes, it was. No, it was fine. It's actually one of my favorite rooms in 100% doing worst room, just because the space jump screw attack interactions just make it so satisfying.
My favorite room, the
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts room.
Excellent room. One of the optimizations that could still be implemented in this category is getting the tank I'm about to get late. With this loadout, it's extremely difficult but possible to do one crystal flash on the way to Ridley and then still kill Ridley and get to his E-tank alive. And you would skip this E-tank until the LN escape, which would save about 7 seconds.
Oh my.
But
Is that just in door transitions and a little bit of backtracking?
Yep. Yeah, just door transitions.
Pretty much.
That's
Yeah.
what, two door transitions and then
Yeah, 2 doors is 6
tiny
seconds.
bit of movement.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, so essentially MM2 is a coward because...
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought this was a speed run. What's going on here? What did I sign up for?
MGA just really doesn't want to run and just wants to end this run as easy as possible. But for those of you just joining us, you're watching Super Metroid. Well, this one, ridiculous speedruns. We got some stranger categories coming up after this. MGA, Mr. Guy Average, is going to be doing a pair of runs after we finish Suitless Max Percent, 98% of the games, but no gravity suit, no Varia suit. So, still a whole lot more Metroid fun, Super Metroid fun to have for the 31st anniversary of Super Metroid.
All planned.
Yeah.
All planned.
Happy
Totally.
31st to all US Easterners in this call. I think I'm the only one in 1 hour.
...1994 was a good year.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Can't believe not even COG going through these,
I
Yeah.
know. I can't either.
right?
Yeah, unfortunately,
That
I
is
like
faster.
having health. No, I really should just keg the off the spikes because I'm going to be waiting for my health to drain anyways.
I think it's supposed to be the same amount of health loss, I think, is what Zenny said.
Well,
Obviously, if you miss it, it's really bad.
well, Zenny's better at this game than I am, so. But yeah, in RBO, this room's really hard, and this it's not as hard. I'll just be a coward and pull this.
Oh my gosh, you're so low HP.
Yeah. That's kind of a problem. I should probably do something about that.
This one we're gonna do just a vanilla Crystal Flash here. No crazy palette shifts here.
Yeah, what's the HP at to be at? Is it under 100, under 30, under?
50 or under. So when you're in a heated room, you want to play it around about 70 is what I go for.
Yeah, because if you lay it at 50, you're just going to be dead, right? So.
You can live if you do it at 50, but if you do it at 40, you're dead.
All right, good luck,
it gets pretty
Grizzlies.
gas.
Nah, that was my fault.
20 shots.
Having plasma makes it a little bit nicer here.
Oh, I thought you were not doing that, but it's fine.
Yeah, that was a little funky, but you should be just fine here.
Nice.
It doesn't even matter. I still have plenty of health to get to the E-Tank. That's the
and you
beauty
won't
of
get health bombed either.
All power bombs right here.
Hey, he was pretty close.
There was it, yeah.
Almost got scammed.
Almost got
Almost.
scammed. Almost got the anti-MM2 ROM.
Oh, man.
All right, so we're out of E-Tanks we got one more Crystal Flash. Do you need to use a Crystal Flash to fully get out, or do we have enough HP now just to book it?
Usually I just wing it, but usually I have to CF at some point.
Okay.
In other routes where you get more tanks, you can get out fully on what you have after Ridley tank. But
Yeah, with this like loadout, I mean, he has a lot of E-tanks and reserve tanks. It technically is possible to avoid a CF, but I think it might honestly be slower because then you'd have to farm all of your health back up
Yeah.
anyways.
Okay.
So
yeah, the
CF
real problem
nice
is
just
I
to
have
get
to
it
do
over.
retro Bren and all this stuff on this health, whatever I have after Golden Warfare. And like, so I have to have this, and I have to have enough to get up to Waterway. Which is
I mean, I guess that's one of the nice optimizations of if you were to pick up the Firefly tank in this next room late, is that you'd get the free refill before you get back in, so you'd save that CF, I guess, right?
Yeah, you save that CF and you save the time I spent pre-Ridley waiting for the CF. But the bad news is if you played extremely well, you still have to do 4+1 Ridley on this loadout, which is
It's
without
a lot.
30
You have to
supers,
play-
it's
you have to
quite
play it very
difficult.
well. Yeah.
Not going for Photo Ruby special, unfortunately.
Sad. Very sad.
It's a good strat though.
Shout outs to Jose Ruby.
Yeah, truly one of the pinnacles of the early Super Metroid years.
And I know him from like Link to the Past shenanigans too. It's just like,
Yeah, he has a lot of records in glitch Link to the Past categories, and he also did pretty well in the 2020 Super Metroid 100% tournament.
Yep.
I got to translate an interview for Hotel Ruby, and I was like, oh my gosh, the legend is
Wow,
here.
that's
Great.
actually impressive. Quite jealous. All right, I'm just gonna Crystal Flash here.
Yeah, let's not get too out of control here.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I think you could have done that with 100 HP.
Yeah, just let loose, man. Like
If you were
Just let
feeling
loose.
taking it safe.
Yeah, it's
Listen,
just game masters. Yeah, don't worry about
yeah.
it.
Listen, MJ. I'll let you come over here and you can do it.
MGA could have done that.
Oh, that's why I'm sitting right here in the commentator booth.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
you're running
MJ's
category
just sitting
today.
here is like,
Yeah.
man, I could do this. These youngins don't know anything about this game.
Yep. Old man MGA, right?
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure I'm the oldest one in here.
Oh, you are. I don't think it's close. Congratulations.
No,
bro.
I think Eddie and I are pretty close.
All right,
in
time for
age.
everybody in the call to guess each other's age. There we go.
All right, you can guess mine. I'll tell.
You're 32.
Don't you know my age, Kara?
I do. Yeah.
32. Well, thank you, I guess. But I don't mind being a little bit older than that, so that's okay.
Well, we're almost through the worst of it here, folks. Geez Louise, we did all the hard stuff. We did our, incredible moon dance. We did our early X-ray deboost, R mode, all the hell runs, the wild and wacky Suitless Meridia. Suitless LN is done. Just a little bit of cleanup here and some bosses that we forgot. But man, this has been like really, really well done, MMT. This has been an awesome showcase so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, so any particular reason we just do Fantune last?
Because there's nothing good behind him. And it saves time to do him with warm equipment. That's pretty much it.
Just wait till you have plasma and whatever.
I mean,
But
But
personally,
what if you just Doppler and one cycle him? It's like, I think that's what a really good runner would do.
Well, a really good runner would know that a good Doppler one cycle is still slower than a microwave. For humans.
Well, there you go. Just immediately calling me out that, yes, I am not a good speedrunner. So
Wow.
I was like, oh yeah, the microwave. That's right.
That's okay.
but yeah, that's your favorite
One day,
thing too,
I'm
Kiara.
gonna grind. I'm gonna grind that 80% for a little bit. You know, maybe get sub 50. We'll see.
Do it.
Heck yeah, let's go.
I'm really excited for MM2 to finally go kill Fantune and grab that gravity suit.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's gonna be so nice.
Yeah, it's gonna really help.
It'll
with the
help
run.
the mother brain fight because the ketchup does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, this is your last chance to pick up those arrows that we missed at Cradesler.
Oh,
You sure?
oh, right here.
You really think it's gonna be worth it to go all the way back for those?
Well, I'm sure it's your last chance. Oh, forget
Yeah.
it. Okay.
All right.
Can't
Yeah,
believe it.
no, it's over. Gone.
Oh, no.
Goodbye.
That was definitely the swamp key.
Yeah.
It's over.
Sorry, Eddie. I'm sure, like in this multi-world, like you'll really miss it, but it was worth it. It was worth it. For
I'm
the
in
time
BK
sake.
mode now.
See you later, man.
Wait, BK mode? What's that? Burger King?
Oh, we get to tell the story. So there's the legend of this one OOT multi where this one runner was so locked out of progression that they couldn't do anything. So they went to Burger King, came back, and ate their food, and still didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, I wonder what Raikaro thinks now that he's enshrined in every rando culture until the end of time.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't part of that multi-world, but around that time I was doing a lot of stuff with him, so it's just really funny.
It's really funny when just like stuff like that just becomes household names, and like it's not even associated with that story. But
It sucks because, like, you know, Burger King ain't great. There had to have been better options.
yeah. But I mean, this is just what we get stuck with. So
Actually, yeah, I feel like it fits the vibe of what's going on pretty well. Like, I'm in Burger King mode. Why can't I be in Chick-fil-A mode or like, I don't know, Domino's mode? I'm in Burger King mode.
Yeah,
Domino's
I can't
mode.
believe that stupid multi-world everyone did just like literally created a lexicon term that everybody uses. It's just speedrunning.
truly an excellent pastime.
All right, what do we got left? Just Rush Ribbon stuff?
And Wreck Ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that whole
Gravity, you can't forget that.
stuff.
Yeah, so this is the part of the run that's easy, right? Now we're done with Global
Pretty much.
Warfare. Like, nothing else could possibly go wrong.
I mean, Spike Hero of Death, catch up. This is pretty much it. That can end the run. Everything else is death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, because
Can you-
so I know if you don't have gravity, you need 7 E-tanks to handle Mother Brain. What's the no gravity, no Varia health requirement to survive the Rainbow Beam?
It's Rainbow Beam only checks for Varia, so you need.
You need 6 tanks.
Yeah, you need 601.
Or, well,
to,
it does 6 tanks of damage. So
Okay.
as long as you have more than 600 health, you'll survive. It doesn't check for gravity. You only need Varia. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I did it gravity, no Varia. I don't know. Either way, there was one time where I had to look at that, but yeah.
Ooh, nice bounce.
Yeah, nice wall bounce.
Oh, this
GG.
is so sick.
Hundo strats.
Yeah, that's like basically what the back third of this run is just Hundo boat. You happen to not have the suits, but it's not really relevant. But I think the routing of this and getting to do these specific areas with all the equipment is really nice. Specifically ship. very Max GT-esque.
Speaking of fast food and 1994 being a good year, did you know that Pizza Hut opened its 10,000th store in the US in 1994, the same weekend that Super Metroid launched?
In which region?
Where are you pulling all this information from?
Listen, they call me the professor for a reason. It's just there.
Do we have any way to back up these facts, or do we have to take your word at it?
Yeah, just believe.
Just believe. All right, chat.
I believe everything Prof says.
You just gotta believe everything you hear on Game Masters. That's what you need to know. Okay.
I'm calling it Pizza Hut mode from now on.
Yeah, PH mode. It's more silent.
I like
it's more
that.
sciencey.
It is.
That's right.
You're gonna go do
That's right.
chemistry, or you're gonna go to Pizza Hut. There you go.
Wait a second. This sounds like prof propaganda to me, actually.
Yeah.
Now that
I have no problems with Prof propaganda.
PH mode?
PH mode is very good. I like that.
That's definitely propaganda.
Nicely done.
Can we just not go to Rec Ship? It feels so appropriate to just go to G4 straight from here.
We've still got 2 little pink squares to fill out.
Pink squares, you say?
Oh, you're talking to the one person.
I love how everyone in this call
Oh, don't get him started. Oh no.
Kiara, you've opened Pandora's box right now. You don't even know.
Oh no.
Yeah. How many areas? How many tiles of the map have you not uncovered?
No.
Oh my gosh. There's 1,262 tiles in Super Metroid.
Like, come on, give me the map completion.
That's called Suitless True Completion, which Kaiserton has world record in. And I have not run because I haven't bothered to route it out yet. But yeah, there's a little category called map completion that I play a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
This is Eddie's actual hell. We have left his spirit in Lower Norfair Suitless, and he's withering away.
You don't understand how often MM2 has tried to spread the gospel of map completion to me over the years. It's unbelievable. I've heard it so much.
It's because it's the truth. It's the best category.
Oh no. And I goes, no, I'm never running it. And I'm never running
It's
it
the
only
truth
because
with a
you keep
capital
preaching it
T.
to me. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah. To quote Decalled, it's Mapoganda.
Map.
Mapaganda, yep.
All right, that's a new word. New word of the day: Map-oganda.
Yeah.
Well, we do have 2 of the top 5 Mapo runners in the world in this chat right now.
Specifically the 4th and 5th place runners. Because Zoskia Booster Stream are the ones that are in 3rd, 2nd, and 1st
Yes,
in that order.
Sasreem, who we mentioned earlier, I think the current Mapo world record holder, right? Sasreem?
Wow, really?
Yep. Yeah, he survived Gimba's grind. Because he's just that good.
What a legend.
Yeah. Truly, like, an actual map of
Looking up
this
some
game.
stats here to make me sound impressive. Stand by.
Oh God, here come more Mapo stats, Eddie, just for you.
I can't. I'm leaving the call right now.
All right, goodbye, Ed.
Oh, so this is fun. Kiara, do you actually know how many tiles are in the game?
There are 2 correct answers. No, there's 4 correct answers.
Oh no.
What do you mean? There's 2 correct answers?
It depends on
there
how you
like
count
a-
it.
a
I might
fierce
spend the entire
debates?
Fanzine fight describing the history of how we count map tiles in Super Metroid.
No, I don't. I probably have been. It's something like 400xx, right?
There are 1,262 map tiles in Super Metroid.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't expecting that.
So the reason we count 1244. So in map completion, the verification ROM we use at the end of the run tells you 1244 if it's valid, because the very first map completion verification ROM only counted to 1244, despite there being 1,262 map tiles in Super Metroid. The reason for this is because there are 3 routines that are used to count. That are used to mark map tiles in Super Metroid. There's the main one that will mark the map tiles, like when I go to the right supers right now, and then there's a separate one for bosses, because the game turns off the minimap for for boss fights to save on lag, and then it gives you all the map tiles in the room at the end of the boss fight. So those are counted with a separate routine. The initial tile counter didn't count. And then the third routine is for, I believe, 4 hard-coded tiles in Terminator and Croc Speedway that are automatically given to you. Because you would have to jump to the tiles normally, and the devs didn't want you to have like an incomplete tile map. So they had it automatically give you those 4 specific tiles when you got the tiles under them. So they're counted with a different routine. So all told, those 2 separate routines that are different don't get counted by the original counter. So we counted to 1244 for years. And now we have a counter that just checks the map tile array against a known, basically save state of known good values, and tells you valid if it's valid, and not valid if it's not valid. But it's
Eddie, are you still with us?
It's still 1244 because tradition, basically. That's
I'm
my
purposely
spiel.
not responding.
He's crashing out. Bye, Eddie.
I've already died.
All right, I found a good stat to make me look good. So there's a lot of people who run Super Metroid. 80% has well over 1,000 runners on it. It's a lot. But I am top 15. I'm a top 15 Super Metroid speedrunner in the Club Nintendo % category,
Nice.
Excellent stat. Quality stat.
which I'm very proud of. Like, that's no easy
Yeah, that's
feat.
awesome.
Good job, Kiara.
Thank you, Eddie.
Club Nintendo, that's legit, man. I don't. Did anyone ever actually have a subscription to Nintendo Power? Because I did when I was a kid. Is this just like way too? Do people even know what magazines are anymore? Am I just like a total boomer?
No, wait, Prof, that's a new word.
Of volumes of Nintendo Power.
Magazine? What's that?
I've never heard of it.
Prof, could you describe it to me?
Gosh.
Prof is just aged. we
Yeah,
both aged.
we're killing
right
Eddie,
here.
now we're killing Prof.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have a small vintage collection of some magazines
Excellent.
that I've collected over the years. I like antiques.
Vintage, is that
Nintendo
like
Power is like
the
in my
early-
antique cabinet.
Is vintage like the early 2000s?
Oh my gosh.
So early 2000s,
we need to talk.
I consider like if something's 20 years old, it can be called retro. So
Okay,
Metroid
so
Prime
MM2 is retro.
retro. Yeah, Resident Evil 4, the original, that's retro.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We're all
Yeah, and then
retro.
like
Yeah, Prof,
if
you're
you're
retro.
30 years or older, then that's some like antique gaming right there. So that's Chrono Trigger just had its 30th birthday on Monday. So we got 31 for Super Metroid. So we're in the video game retirement home here,
Stop doing this to me, Kiara.
enjoying some old antique video games here.
Yeah, well, listen here, Sonny. I remember when that first game came out back in 1994. I was watching The Lion King on VHS, and all of a sudden someone's like, you gotta play this Super Metroid game.
Did you have to walk uphill both ways to the game store, Prof?
You dang right there, young whippersnapper.
I like to joke about the speedrunner retirement home, aka the rando players. But
I think you have a good friend there. His name's Eddie.
Yep.
Yep.
but you picture a retirement home and you got a bunch of speedrunners in there, and it's like to the end of time they're still going to be arguing over tech and whether or not this category should be allowed on the leaderboard. And like
Okay, I've got the top 5 highest grossing films from 1994 here in front of me. Anyone want to take a stab?
All right, 1994.
Top 5 grossing films.
Yeah, so Lion
Worldwide.
King is definitely up there.
Lion King's number 1.
Yep. I don't think Jurassic Park was 94. I think that was 93.
It was. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Nicely done.
Yep. I'm trying to think. Was Saving Private Ryan 94?
I think that was 95.
Dang, I'm thinking really close. Let me think for this. You know, commentate the run. I'm gonna think for this.
But you've got the actor right from Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
In the top 5.
How did I forget Forrest Gump? Forrest Gump,
number 2.
let's see. I think True Lies came out in 94.
You're going down the list. That's number 3. Kiara, this is incredible.
I think she's actually really good at this stuff.
I'm a big fan of movies. That's like I don't watch
Actual
much TV.
movie buff.
I enjoy movies. I have dreams of directing a film I've penned. Eventually. That's never gonna happen, but who knows?
I mean, you just cranked off 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
like it was nothing.
I'm wrapping my brain around what came out in 94.
Somebody stop her. Oh my gosh.
Was Dumb and Dumber that year?
Number 7. Oh, sorry.
Dang.
Looking for the top 5.
I'm just thinking of 94 movies. Speed was 94. How did that do?
Number 5.
Yes.
Nicely done.
All right.
There we go.
She's got 4 or 5. Somebody stop her, folks.
I may need help on this last one. I don't know.
I did just drop a clue.
I'm running out of films I know
hint.
came out in 94.
Chabo got it. Chabo
That's all I got.
By the way, I just wanted to mention
Mask.
there.
Okay.
MM2 just did a cool trick called a wraparound. There's actually copies of doors like in the out of bounds, and he did like a cool charge plasma shot to hit a door out of bounds, which actually opened the door in bounds, which let him do that really cool big long spark in a gauntlet.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Kinda
Very
looked like he
similar
was-
to the. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it kind of looked like he was just like dancing there and shooting nothing and just like sitting there, but he was actually just trying to hit the door
Yeah.
from the other side, basically.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways to do it with plasma. With spacer or with just wave, there's like one spot you can do it, and then with plasma, there's the one up near the spacer and wave only spots, and then there's the spot that I did where you get near the door, but you have to have some momentum going downward in order to make it work. So that's the sweaty plasma wraparound shot, which only saves time if you don't mess it up. But
After playing Map Rando for so long, I came in here when I did my Super Metroid 80% per speedrun. I was like, dang, this really goes forever, doesn't it?
yeah, it's a good game. It takes a while.
It really does.
Nicely done getting all the bosses, by the way. GG.
Thank you.
How's it feel making a mockery of the devs by not getting the suits?
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. They put them there for
I
nothing.
will say that, like, if you're into SM and you like challenge runs, like, I don't think you have to speedrun this category. I think it makes for a really, really fun challenge run is to try to beat the game without both suits. And the tech is totally, like, within the grasp. Like, I've gone into the practice hack and done this stuff. You can do it, more efficiently and faster if you're, adept at speedrunning Super Metroid. But, like, I think this is accessible to pretty much anyone. And it's, like I said, it makes for a really fun challenge run.
Oh.
Shambles.
Yeah. Breaking news: if you missile a Metroid, you don't freeze it.
Huh. Nice room 2.
Oh, let's see it.
Didn't open the door.
Whoa. That was awesome. Nicely done. Great room 3 there.
Those are the 4 highest inputs per second rooms in the run, and I
6:30
really don't
PM.
think it's close. What? What were you saying, Eddie?
GD calculated 600 APM for Metroid Room 3, apparently.
Wow.
At the peak.
Calculation.
You know, I played StarCraft
Yep.
Brood War,
Yep.
and you know my APM like would peak at like 200, and that's when I'm spamming on probes in the base. Okay. So
Yeah, this is not
that's not
spamming.
true
This is
APM.
like-
600 is
Yeah, 600 is at the very peak of Room 3 when I'm hitting the last Metroid and trying to open the door and mock ball, all in like the span of 2/3 of a second, I would say.
All right, Eddie, when are you teaching me baby skip?
He won't teach you that way because that way it's slow. I'm just
Yeah, that's the old version.
yeah. This is
MM2
all reliable instead of
Boomer strats.
newfangled.
Yep.
This is MM2's one and only boomer moment in the call.
I have many boomer moments, Prof.
Well, when
Don't
it
you know
comes to
my
Super
opinions?
Metroid. When it comes to Super Metroid.
Anyways, now we get to do Zeb Skip. I'll try and do 2 tries. So if I hit that, then Prof gets to explain it.
Well, we can talk about it a little bit, regardless of whether you hit it or not. So, because I think we should talk about stand up. I
Yeah.
think is pretty reasonable. It's like the last really big thing in this run. MGA, you've been quiet. You want to talk about stand up a little bit?
Sure. Well, you know, thing is about stand up. You know, I was trying to think of something funny. All right, never mind. So, anyways,
It makes MGA stand
Well,
up
you
and
did.
leave.
You did come up with
Yeah,
something
I
funny
just stand
by
up and
failing
leave.
to come up with something funny.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, so stand up basically the way it works is I think we touched upon it a little bit earlier how like Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam only checks for Varia. So here in this specific situation, we're gonna need more than 7 E-tanks, and then Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam is gonna damage us down to about 1 E-tank. And there's like kind of this weird check that Mother Brain does where if you have more than 7 E-tanks, then she wants to hit you with another Rainbow Beam to make sure that you're damaged down all the way. But because we kind of had this like nice sweet spot of health, she's gonna have to skip it because she's not allowed to kill you. So that way you can stand up and still avoid the Rainbow Beam, which will let you hit Mother Brain during this like whole baby cutscene, while the baby Metroid is like healing Samus back up to health. There are a few key points that you want to look out for. It is possible to soft lock here, since the cutscene is like checking for a couple of different things. And then yeah, there's also like a faster way to do this cutscene that I actually don't know. I think it's called like 2 cries or something. That I think Prof can like better explain. But yeah, basically the gist of it, like you're seeing right now, MM2 is trying to hit Mother Brain during this cutscene, which saves like up 15 to 20 seconds.
Right, because normally you're crouched here in a forced crouch, and then you have to kill Mother Brain 3 completely with the Hyper Beam. Instead, you're able to get in these 39 shots here, and then it's just the 1 Hyper Beam shot. MM2, if you're curious, you jumped late on the 2 cries attempt.
Oh yeah.
That was the issue.
How do you
But
avoid the soft lock here?
There's essentially a couple points where you need to make sure that you're in the air, because if you're on the ground, then you get forced into a crouch in a place where you will either get killed by Mother Brain or the baby can't get damaged by Mother Brain. Ooh, the nice short charge.
That's a
GG.
cheater
That is the
short
third
shot.
time I've ever done that in my life.
Okay. I was gonna say that was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Off the cuff.
But yeah, no, essentially, Kiara, you need to make sure that there's a couple points in the sequence where you have to be airborne to make sure you don't get forced into a crouch where the baby latches onto you and Mother Brain can't damage the baby down. Essentially, the one hard requirement for that cutscene continuing is that Mother Brain needs to be able to deal 10 full barrages of those blue onion rings to the baby. If that can't happen, then you're soft locked, and you can essentially just, if you're stuck in the wrong place, she'll just shoot the baby forever, or like keep shooting forever without hitting the baby. That's pretty much
there's
where the
other
soft lock
runs.
happens.
Yeah, there's other runs where it's a lot more easy to soft lock, but here because you have a lot of health, and you have X-ray, there's like workarounds in case you accidentally mess something up, and then oh no, like Samus is stuck in the ground, or oh no, like the baby, you got it caught like up in the air where Mother Brain can't hit it. You can kind of recover some of those like situations, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, X-ray in particular is really nice. Like if you get forced into that crouch, if you just activate X-ray, it forces you to stand, which is pretty sick.
Do it, MM2.
I'm gonna see if I can hit this.
No, you
MM2.
jerk! Go back in there.
Hold on, or you're gonna see
Ah,
something.
dang. No. Not
Didn't
good.
get it.
Oh no, that would have been perfect.
So what I was trying to do is the boomerang taunt. If you hit left on the frame before you hit the transition, and then switch to right on the frame after, you have to frame perfect one frame left press. You can get in the door and get out before the door closes on you.
It's the
But
ultimate
time
BM
is
taunt.
right now.
GG's. Get your GG's into chat, folks. That was an incredible run. MM2, nice job.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get a shout out for MM2 NES cartridge here. One of the more specific names I've come across in my time hosting shows, my time in the speedrunning community. Is that Mega Man 2? Are you a fan of Mega Man 2? Or is it something completely different?
No, it's meant to be Mega Man 2, but I've heard many things like Mario Maker 2, Marble Madness 2, Majora's Mask 2. There's many variants. But that was the
Majora's Mask NES cartridge.
Yeah, Majora's Mask 2 NES cartridge.
2 NES cartridge. Yeah, that's going to be
Music
at
Man
the Switch
2.
2 Direct. It's like, all right, Switch 2, we're getting everything at 2. We're getting Majora's Mask 2. We're getting Ocarina of Time 2. Yeah, you thought it was Majora's Mask. Like, no, they're separate. Yeah. We're going to get Super Metroid 2. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be a good 2. Well,
we'll see. But yeah, thank you very much for having me. That was a great run. Had a ton of fun doing it with great friends, Prof, Eddie, MGA. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you all for coming in and commentating on it. And thank you, of course, to Kiara and GDQ Hotfix for having me.
Of course, yeah. If you want to shout out yourself really quick, we're at the end of the run here before we go into our break and set up for MGA's, back-to-back weird category extravaganza here. Please do. Where can we find you? What have you been up to on stream lately?
Pretty much everything I have is MM2 NES cartridge. I play Super Metroid. I play A Link to the Past sometimes. I also play their randomizers, sometimes together. I'm pretty okay at the combo. There's a tournament going on, and I play in that. I also organize stuff, but I don't know. It's what I do, and I have a great time doing it. So yeah.
All right, Chad is clamoring for Deer Force. I'm not sure I can stall long enough. I forget how long into the credits. Actually, no.
60
What
seconds more.
we need to verify that you did get the correct amount of items.
That is true.
Yes.
Right.
We do.
Yeah.
We need to verify that
need to
98%.
verify this.
I mean,
Chad, you're not gonna. We're not gonna watch the credits 3 times tonight. Okay, so.
I don't know.
This is the time to do it.
This
for
is the
sure.
time to do
Yeah.
it. It is important to verify that we have a completely valid suitless run of Super Metroid here.
97%.
And-
Cut the tape.
And shout outs to Eddie. If you weren't here, I'm not sure we would remember to go back and get the beach missiles in Meridia.
Yeah, you can thank me for that. Not not Kaizen 2.
Not Kaizen 2 DMing on Discord.
I didn't see that Kai said it.
No, it's
no,
actually
it
fine.
was all
Kai
me.
DM'd me on Discord as well. So I was doing it whether Eddie mentioned it or not.
But it was all me though. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it was all Eddie.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we needed to make sure you felt needed and valuable in here. so.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, here we go.
This was a lot of
Deer
fun.
Force?
Though. Let's
Chad,
go.
you bullied us into doing this. Yeah.
Deer Force.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Super Metroid.
And Samus somehow got the gravity suit in the past 3 minutes, despite me never getting it. But
99%.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, I'm nervous. I hope we're at 98. Come on. And
Your rate for collecting items is 98%.
there we
There
go.
we go.
Good job.
GG's MM2.
All right, that
GG's.
run is valid. Everybody, make sure you go check out MM2 Nest cartridges. But we need to go into a break here as we set up for our next Super Metroid category. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good one. Welcome back from the break, everybody. Unfortunately, MM2, we had to say goodbye as we're getting into our next set of runs here that is going to be brought to you by MGA, Mr. Guy Average, or Guy Average for short, or MGA for even shorter, because we like to go fast in a whole variety of things. Before we head over to that, I want to remind everybody that if you missed out on any of our Hotfix shows or events like Back to Black and Frost Fatales, check out the VODs on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And also your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on GDQ. Help support Games Done Quick Hotfix, so if you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during our replays in case you happen to miss a run earlier in the day. Okay? And of course, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out this season's lineup. Check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. Okay? Now, without further ado, Mr. Guy Average, MGA, is here to start us off with a very, very quick category. So this is an RTA run. So RTA, real-time attempts, and they work a little bit differently. Unlike most like the base game speedruns, you will start on Samus's ship, and you'll typically have some very specific objective of what you're going to have to do to end the run. And, MGA, what do you got here to kick us off with?
Yeah, so this is going to be Save the Dachora RTA. Specifically, we're going to be doing the Suitless route. So a little bit more Suitless fun for you guys. And yeah, like you mentioned, Kiara, this is an RTA, so we aren't actually going to be beating the entire game. We're just going to be doing a small segment for a specific goal and objective. And I think, we'll talk more about like what freeing the Dachora really means, but we'll go ahead and kick it off. So on go, we'll start the timer. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck, have fun.
Yeah, so free the Dachora. Main goal, we love the animals. We love saving the animals, right? That's a big thing here at GDQ. But, there's a very cool and fun way of saving the animals before we even, we don't even have to blow up the planet to do it, right? So, why do we have to, go through all this, huge ordeal of, finding Mother Brain, killing a bunch of baddies, when we can just, go get Speed Booster and save the Dachora? So that's what we're going to be gonna do. This route, going to be very quick. Main idea is go get Speed Booster in Norfair, then we're going to go back in Brinstar where the Dachora is, and we're going to be breaking her out of her little speed jail. Even though the Dachora shows you how to use the Speed Booster and how to Shine Spark and all that, for some reason she can't break the speed blocks, so we're going to help her out with that.
Yeah, you need the power suit to do that.
Yeah. If only the Dachora had their own power suit.
Yeah.
Sick.
All right, fan artists, get to it. Yeah, one of the first, so I've been learning how to draw, and one of the first things I drew, I was taking chat suggestions, it was Dachora, however you pronounce it. And my idea, this is actually kind of funny you're running it, because the art was, I had the Dachora speed boostering up, into those blocks, and then it mashed through, so the head made it through, but the rest of the body was down below, so it was kind of dizzy and knocked out. Didn't quite make it in there. Now it was stuck on the ceiling. So,
Oh, nice. That's cute.
I'm happy that it will finally be free.
Yeah.
So which variation of Free the Dachora exactly is this, MGA? 'Cause I know there's different ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of different routes. You can get Various Suit, make it real easy on yourself. I'm going to be skipping Various Suit, doing a couple of hell runs here. The world record route actually does Suitless like I'm doing, but skips the reserve tank and does a 2 tank hell run to get to Speed Booster, which is extremely tight. I don't think it's very marathon friendly, because if I make literally like one mistake, or if I get even a modicum of bad RNG, like runs over. So we're definitely.
There's actually a.
Or go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a prior to the current world record, I think there was actually another route that was done as well, right?
Yeah, there is another route, which doesn't even get speed booster. It does a lot of like power bomb, like crystal flash, blue suit shenanigans. I don't even know how you do that route actually. I don't even remember, but it does a lot of shenanigans. So.
Yeah, one of the really cool things about this RTA category is there's like 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to slice it. There's the 2 tank hell runs, there's 2 tank plus reserve hell runs. You can get Varia and actually sort of beat it that way and still get a pretty good time, like around 15 minutes. And then maybe the most efficient, the fastest route is to actually do this elevator crystal flash. So you can essentially we saw a lot of wild stuff in MM2 NES cartridges, 98% suitless, the max percent suitless run, in 2 different places where we generated a blue suit with some glitch shenanigans. You can do something similar by essentially interrupting a crystal flash by sort of performing it on the same frame that you grab an elevator and generate a blue suit that way. And so essentially you get into crystal flash range, you set up the crystal flash as you try to grab the elevator, just like you would there, except you'd be doing crystal flash. You generate a blue suit by interrupting that crystal flash, and then you can use that to essentially, without speed booster, just like walk through the speed blocks and unlock the Dachora. It's pretty stinking cool.
All right, so I take it this is the first reserve we're going to get for MGA?
Yep, the first and only.
Okay.
First and only, yep.
Oh, here we go again. Sick D-boost once more.
Yeah, let's go. So happy.
I love that D-boost.
Just to answer a question in chat, the really cool thing, I think, on top of the fact that you can do this route this category so many different ways, is that the crystal flash elevator route that I just described and the 2 tank hell run route are actually really, really comparable. I'm not sure that anyone's really optimized out. It'd be fun to see like an elite level speedrunner kind of try to do like a spliced RTA style run to figure out what really is more optimal. But the 2 top times in the leaderboards are within like 3 seconds of each other, and they're both completely different routes. One uses Riaran uses the Crystal Flash elevator route to get a blue suit, and Shiny Zenny does the 2 tank hell run route. So they are very, very comparable, and they're so dramatically different if you go and watch the top 2 times on the leaderboard that you would barely even notice they're the same category until the very end. It's pretty sick, actually.
Wait, I don't.
Straight for that charge beam.
I completely, yeah.
That is speedrunner muscle memory for you, folks. That is what that is.
Like, basically the first, 6 or 7 minutes of this run is just any percent, so it's, completely just zoned in. But we're back, we're back.
Yep, we're dialed in.
All right,
But
so
it's a fun category, and I'm kind of proud of this one because it's one of my hopefully lasting contributions to the community. I don't know if anyone ever ran this category sort of casually on accident, if people had discovered at some point that you could free the Dachora. When that exactly happened isn't clear, but I made a nice little promo video and sort of submitted this category originally for consideration on the leaderboards, and was the first person to actually complete a run of it. So this run is always near and dear to my heart, freeing that beautiful little bird.
all right, so very to the right, right?
Maybe. I'm actually gonna go ahead and farm a little bit here, just to make sure nothing crazy happens.
You know, as a high level any percent runner, I demand that you go get that various suit right over there. It's just what you do, right?
We're just gonna keep denying you Varia suit.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
We're not going to do it until it's literally required by the Club Nintendo %
Yeah.
layout. Like it literally says you have to go.
And
get
even
it to
then,
ballot,
even
but
then,
it's
I'm
out.
begrudgingly picking it up.
Or yeah, maybe MJ will do like a max percent Varioless Club Nintendo. Yeah, so this is probably the most common route route of this category on the leaderboards, the 2+1. Like I said, you can do it with Varia. Actually, Eddie pointed that out. You can do the Crystal Flash, but I think of the 20 or so times in the leaderboard, this is the most common one.
So
Actually, up to 23 times in the leaderboard now, which is kind of nice. As far as extension
Nice.
categories go, that's quite a few people. You don't normally get that many.
So I take it Zenny's route. Does he just try to like grab random farm during the hell run basically and just pray that he can make it through?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
course.
the thing that's the trickiest part. There's a couple people on there who have that time. Yuri Salgadin has one as well. The thing that makes it really tricky is not this next room here, but Rising Tide.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of completely beholden to the RNG of the squeeps, which are those little red pancakes that come up. And so here, you can use a super missile to kill them to sort of ensure that even if they get in the way, you can get by them. But realistically, you need one of the Sovas. That was really nice. I mean, that would have worked for a 2-tank run.
I was actually surprised.
It's actually exactly the same as you'd see for the Kill Croc RTA category, which also goes 2 tanks suitless, and it's a lot easier then because to get to Croc from there, you don't need a lot of health to get to the farm spot. This is a lot trickier because you need a lot more health, usually somewhere between 40 and 50. You can do it on less, but that's kind of nuts. To make it up to this farm spot and get the speed booster item. But honestly, like that was an extremely well put together hell run from MGA there. Really, really good. Yep, fill up those reserves. Make sure we can get back from this speed booster without a problem.
Run MGA.
Anytime you're finishing that hell run through those 3 rooms, and you're doing it without popping your reserves is pretty wild. Just a testament to how excellent MGA actually is. Much better than average.
Well, I don't know. It's in the name.
All right, zoom.
Oh, nice. Didn't even. There's echoes.
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh,
So that was actually kind of cool. Oh no! Okay, we're good. It just takes a little bit longer for me. That's fine. That was a planted error so that we'd have more time to explain parts of the run, obviously. No, that was pretty cool. So normally when you get those, if you're suitless there and you're getting those blue echoes at the same time, these heated rooms have this like really interesting effect where they're sort of glowing in the background. There's a really weird sound cue issue that Shiny Zenny discovered, essentially where the sound cue interrupts your ability to keep your blue suit. I'm sure I'm not explaining that 100% correctly, but essentially what happened is MGA actually kept his blue suit because he didn't get stuck in that sound cue glitch. But most of the time when you're suitless in a heated room, you have to release dash to make sure that you don't lose your blue suit. In that case, it looked like you held dash and did not lose the blue suit. Is that what happened there, MGA?
Yeah, I held
you had
dash,
dash held the whole time there, right?
I think.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, maybe. So basically, like the sound cue, there's only like there's like a maximum number of like sounds that the game can play at any one given moment. And if there's like so many sounds going on, like you taking damage from the heat, and then like the music and all that, then the sound booster or the speed booster like sound effect won't play. And if that doesn't play, then you don't get echoes, I believe is what happens.
That's
Yeah, so
so
something about how it-
specific. I love how like just like all these systems come together. Oh, so that was a deboost off of projectiles. That was 4 frames, right?
Yeah.
4 frames.
Yeah,
frames for
Nicely
that one.
done.
Very smart.
I know I am.
I know.
Kiara, you're honestly crushing it.
Hey, I do know some things about this video game.
No, you totally do. It's just that like this is the runs that are being featured have so much obscure wild tech that like even I did like I've been speedrunning this game for 5 years. I needed to do some actually like seriously intense studying to make sure I could explain R mode properly from the last run. And you in like one go, nice gate glitch, GG. You in like one go just immediately like captured the whole essence of it. I just think that that's so awesome.
Hey, you know, that's my job here, right? I'm the host of Game Masters because I'm a master at melees. Maybe not games, but I can spew out a lot of words and sound important.
All right, folks, here we go. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, you went for it. Let's go. Oh, that is actually not easy because you have to break those speed blocks and then do the moonfall before they reform. That's really nicely done.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
I thought I timed that right. What the heck?
Washed.
I practiced that. I practiced that so much. I was like so worried that was gonna happen, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, just a little bit early, and now just resetting the room is just a little bit easier here. And you need to fill up on health here to make sure you have enough to get to
How
the
convenient.
top.
Very convenient.
Deer Force knew.
They definitely knew here, otherwise you could stop.
They knew you had to free the Dachora.
Here we go. This time for sure. No!
No!
No.
Oh my gosh. My worst nightmare.
Yep, stuck forever.
Holy cow.
I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of neat to show that this is actually really precise. It's not like totally free shenanigans. Like timing these things is difficult, and it's just like a window into the world of like what it takes to be good at some of these speed runs. And it's
Wait, I think I'm okay.
Yay!
There we go.
Holy cow. And that's time.
Aw. Look
so
at
if you just
you.
wait for it. So in fact, MGA, can you take out those blocks because that Dachora will actually like run all over this place and just like totally go nuts. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I was saying that Dachora couldn't get out because it was jumping at the wrong pixel. That's why you needed help. Usually it'd be fine.
Yeah, you were a little far right, so it was only taking out one block of the speed blocks instead of two, so it was getting a little bit of a headache there.
The car had a big head.
Whee!
Look at him go. You know, I'm amazed this actually works.
Oh wait, let me get rid
Wait, we gotta help. Yeah.
One block.
The cool thing is that the Dachora actually, despite getting blue, will not break those speed blocks, so can just run around up here forever. Samus can break them again, but the Dachora won't. So cool.
I like how it knows, you know, it's been, you know, who knows how long this Dachora has been doing this, right? Probably a
Very strong head.
very long time.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this is so satisfying. It's such a cool RTA category.
It's great. I love it. I've never seen the animals save this way.
Yeah, but I will say, like, it's such a soul-crushing thing to be on pace in this run and have exactly what MGA happened. I've seen so many people, like, they do everything right, they get all the hell runs or the Crystal Flash, Blue Suit or whatever, and then they just are, like, 1 pixel to the right and the Dachora bonks and you're like, you've got to be kidding me. Come on. Soul-crushing.
Yeah, because it's not like, I mean, 13 minutes, 14 minutes is short, but... You know, when you're grinding and it's like, dang, it could feel like an eternity. So I was like,
Yeah.
go back to start. Anyway, GG's on save the Dachora percent, well, I guess RTA. I need to use my terminology correctly, RTA. The run ends once the goal has been accomplished, no matter what that goal is. Like coggoing the coggos, just balling up and glitching inside of each one of those, and that's a category. Destroying the boulders, that's a category. One of my favorites, kill Croc's tongue. That's a good one. But MGA, we have one more run that you've cooked up for us. Before we go into a break to go set that up, what do you have coming up that everybody can look forward to?
Yeah, so now we're going to be doing Nintendo Power Percent, and if you've guys seen any of Kiara's Nintendo or Club Nintendo runs, it's going to be a lot like that, where we're going to be following the official Nintendo Power Guide, but this time it's any percent form. So let's see what the devs thought was the fastest way to beat this game.
Awesome. Well, everybody, we're going to go into a short break while we go set up for the next category. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon. Welcome back from the break, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that very cute little RTA run that we had Mr. Guy Average, MGA, do here. But we have one more run, of course, Nintendo Power Percent. Before we get into that, a couple final announcements here. Be sure to check out GDQ's International Transgender Day of Visibility celebration, a weekend highlighting transgender speedrunners on March 29th and March 30th. Use !transvisibility in Twitch chat for more info. Also, GDQ will be live at PAX East May 8th through the 11th, and submissions are now open. So visit submissions.gamesdonequick.com to submit your runs. Accepted runners will be provided an event badge. So if you're looking and you just was like, dang, these badges are so expensive, you want to do a run? Well, here's your opportunity. So head on over. Yeah, definitely. Submissions.gamesdonequick.com. Now, this is going to be Nintendo Power Percent. And Richard has so kindly, shouts to Richard, our tech staff today, pinned the scan of the Nintendo Power magazine page that this run is all about. So this is a sequence of items that I forget exactly what it says. I think it says on here, on the guide itself, obtaining the best ending should be a snap if you follow this plan. However, because of your limited energy and weaponry, you'll find the bosses difficult to defeat. So I want you to keep that phrase in your mind while we go do this. Limited energy and weaponry. What exactly would Nintendo Power consider to be limited? Well, we're about to find out here. So, MGA, are you ready to take us through the Nintendo Power Percent round?
Yes, I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
I'll throw it over to you whenever you are ready to take it away.
Yeah, so this category, we are required to grab all of the items that the Nintendo Power Guide lists in the exact order. So, hopefully I'll be able to get the best ending, but I don't know. I'm feeling a bit nervous, being on GDQ and all that. Who knows what'll happen.
It does say limited energy and weaponry, so
it might be tough.
Might be tough here. One thing. Okay, so before we get into this, there's one thing I want to mention that I need an answer to. So in Norfair, it has you pick up the reserve tank and the missile. The reserve tank being step 24 and the missile being step 25. So you have to get the reserve first, right? You can't just go, I'm gonna go get these two items. It has to be those two in that specific order.
Yeah, exactly.
This guide is strict. Yeah, the numbers are there. We got to get them.
So we expect you to finish this on 58%, is that correct?
49.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple extra tiles here that are for like bosses and going to different places.
Defeat Kraid, defeat Ridley.
Got it.
All right, but yeah, I'm ready. So I'll go. I'll count down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck,
MJ.
Good luck. It's gonna be our final run of the night.
Yeah, so the guide says I have to get Morphing Ball first. Yeah, not sure where that is, but I'll try and find it.
Yeah. I don't recall it's called the Morphing. I know the Morph Ball. Is this like an upgrade of the Morph Ball? The Morphing Ball?
Yeah, it's an upgrade in the literary sense. We're going from morph to morphing, and hopefully we'll get to, I don't know, morphed ball.
Yeah, morphed ball.
Hopefully soon at some point.
That sounds like a literary downgrade. You're reducing the letters by 1.
You know what? I don't know. Just don't think too much about it, I guess.
Yeah, Eddie, it's not all about the letters. It's about what the letters represent.
Yeah, exactly. It's what they mean.
No. That's not how I refuse to think of it that way.
What? You want more? You want more letters equals better?
Yeah, more equals better in this case. Morphing ball.
All right, chat. We need to get more variations of morph with longer letters so Eddie is happy. Mm-hmm. Guess the time here. What time are we getting?
This is looking like a 45 9x.
Not even committing. I'm gonna go with this. It's gonna be a 4582. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Got
Nice.
it.
That was a good one.
Good job, Kiara.
Thank you so much.
All right, MG, are you up to the task? You got to get the... Look at all this stuff that you got to get for the bosses. I don't know if it's going to be enough, honestly. Defeat Spore Spawn. Can you do that?
I don't know. I've never heard of a spore spawn before.
I haven't either.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that one.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about the spore spawn?
Well, that's
Like the one, the guy that is always survives because, you know, speedrunners dodge him because you just, it's so difficult to go through that you just rather like find any way to bypass him, which is very difficult. But you're saying we have to beat him?
Yeah, we have to beat him. Apparently, it says right here, defeat spore spawns.
Maybe the highlight of the night here.
You know, speedrunners are like little kids. Like, we don't want to eat our veggies. It's kind of the same concept here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he dies, he rots. So yeah, it's pretty accurate. Turns all gray and old and rotten.
Oh, no. All right.
This is it. Oh,
Excellent.
the morphing ball. It is
The
called
morphing ball. Step 1 complete.
All right. Next step is the missile. And then here is going to be a very interesting routing decision that you actually won't see in any category, I think, in Super Metroid, except this one.
What's that, MGA?
So yeah, usually you see speedrunners always go up the left here, but we're going to go to the right and we're going to get this missile right here.
That's unbelievable.
The beta pickup.
I didn't even know those missiles existed.
Yeah, well, yeah, Eddie just doesn't do hundos.
Nope.
It's too many items.
Well, you know, if you need a guide to like do hundo for the first time, there is always the Club Nintendo guide that you can refer to.
That is true. That is true.
But no, I'm trying to obtain the best ending. Hopefully it'll be a snap.
So this is gonna be kind of interesting because you have 10 missiles, the drops are kind of weird now, right? And
a little bit.
the Bomb BT fight is gonna be kind of awkward, isn't it?
It's honest. I mean, it's not that awkward. It'll just save a little bit of time with the drops,
Okay.
as long as I don't mess it up, of course. But yeah, with 10 missiles, BT is a lot easier to fight, actually. There's a term that speedrunners use a lot called BT Classic to refer to how BT can be really annoying sometimes with its drops. Thankfully, we can actually kind of avoid that with 10 missiles here because I'm going to just go ahead and dump all these missiles on him right away. And then I don't need as many missiles as a normal any percent run would need.
All right, step 4 complete, bomb collection, and now step 5 is defeat Torizo.
I think you can do it.
Yes.
Good job, good job.
I was sweating on that one.
Yeah, it's tough.
I was a little nervous.
On to step 6, collect energy tank. You up to the task, MGA?
Well, first I have to find it. I don't know where it is, but
First time playing, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
this guide is very image lax. Like I really need. Like, how do I know where Mother Brain is? How do I know how to get there?
Right.
It just says go.
Good energy tank acquisition. Proud of you, MGA.
Successful.
Did it. All right, so now we're gonna go to early supers, right? And you're gonna do a little mock ball and grab those super missiles. That's the plan, right?
Well, I don't know. The guide doesn't say to do a mock ball and grab a super. It says to grab a missile and then defeat Spore Spawn. So, unfortunately, I will not be able to do mock ball here.
Okay, we're going to uncharted territory now.
Yeah.
Never before seen things in the game.
So yeah, another thing that you will not see in any other category is we will have to fight Spore Spawn, and on top of that, we are fighting Spore Spawn without supers. So that makes the fight, actually, it makes the fight pretty difficult. Spore Spawn is not a very easy boss, even if you're good at this game. Wait, actually, I need to check because I don't. Oh yeah, I didn't want to grab anything out of order.
Almost invalidated the run immediately. Right.
That'd be pretty funny if it made you get charged first and then the missile.
There are some weird things like that, so never want to be too safe. All right, and now we get to go up and fight Spore Spawn because I definitely needed Charge Beam to fight Spore Spawn.
All right, let's see it, MGA.
All right, yeah, so for this fight, it's going to be a little bit complicated here. On Spore Spawn's first round, you can't fit any extra missiles in while his mouth is opening. So I basically just have to wait until his mouth is fully open before I can... Oh man, I missed one. And I'm going to try to do 3 there. And now in this round, starting from the second round onwards, I can actually fire missiles into Spospo early, which I'll try to do here. Okay, did that? Okay, good, we're good. So now all I have to do is one last round, try and fit in a couple extra missiles here, and hopefully we can 3-round him. Okay. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, as soon as a missile hits Spore Spawn's core, it'll immediately close, so you really have to position your missiles properly. There you go. 4 rounds. Not too bad. It's pretty typical, I'd say, for a first time. And we got our first supers. So yeah, Spospo is pretty hard. You can actually 2-round Spospo with only missiles, but you'd have to fit in like 4 missiles in his opening and then 4 again on his core to be able to do that, which is like crazy. I'm not good enough for that. And now our next is a missile. I have to know how to wall jump to get this missile. I don't even know why they made you get this like right now, right here. And now the next item we're gonna get is Spazer. So yeah, this guy definitely expected you to know how to wall jump because there's going to be a lot of tricky things we're going to be doing that's coming up. Well, tricky for like a casual player, I'd say.
And you know, I guess, I wonder if they also might expect you to be able to bomb jump too, right? That could be a thing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, yeah, to know how to ball jump. Bomb jump.
Though, I don't know, that seems about as hard, so seems harder if anything.
All right, but even though we wall jump to get that missile in this Spazer, we are not allowed to wall jump up to Kraid, so unfortunately I will not be getting Varia. Sorry, Eddie. There's one last trick for you. Still not getting Varia.
Okay. Yep, one more Varia skip. That being said, I guess that wall jump is a little tight, so I guess that makes sense.
You could also bomb jump too, though, like you said.
That is true. So I guess it is wall jumps to expect you to do.
Yeah. But yeah, that wall jump is way too difficult. So instead, I'm gonna go down here and grab high jump really quickly.
Yeah, we gotta take it a little easy here.
Yeah.
Let's not get too wild here.
Oops. I was looking at the guide. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
All right, step 16, defeat Kraid.
Another very difficult task ahead of me.
You know, I actually had my wife play this game just kind of for fun. She was playing it. Kraid is actually, if you're a casual, like a complete casual, Kraid is like extremely difficult. It's like actually kind of absurd how hard Kraid is. Because you don't like have any E-tanks basically, I think.
Yeah, you can't take that many hits like the other bosses, so.
Yeah, and you just get like...
probably just have the Terminator E-tank. It's the only one.
I guess you have the high jump E-tank. Yeah, but like, even so, it's just, there's so much stuff like coming at you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like, because so much stuff is happening, it's hard to like even like understand how to even hit Kraid in the first place.
It's basically a bullet hell, like in SM.
Yeah.
If you to do it casually. Nice. Kraid is not lagging.
Nice lag reduction struts. Jumping on those spikes so that Samus gets drawn every other frame. But that was purely coincidental. Not something that MJ you would know as a first-time player in this game, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to play this game and get the best ending, you know?
Yeah.
That's
you just fell on those spikes and took some damage, not by accident. Hit that right button.
Yeah, I had no idea that it would reduce lag in that room. What? That's crazy. All right, Brinstar Energy Tank. Got to make sure you stay healthy for all those future fights, right? Right, yeah. I mean, even then, you know, like, this is limited energy and weaponry. Like, I'm trying to beat this game as fast as I can. Like, if I didn't get this E-tank, I'd die. Yep. You'll find the bosses difficult to defeat. I definitely struggled a lot there with Snowspawn Kraid. Yep. You even walked off and touched those spikes by accident. It was pretty. You put yourself in a dangerous situation. Mm-hmm. It's scary over there.
All right, so we're at our minimum energy. This is what Nintendo Power meant because, you know, our energy right now, this is what we need. This is all we need to do Mother Brain. Mm-hmm. That's all we're going to get. I love the little morph strat on top of that pillar. This is Cathedral, yes. Yeah. Slowly we're learning my 200 plus room names in this game.
Well, you know, you could always say that room over there, and I think most people would understand.
I call this one the Bubble Mountain hallway. And of course, the famous Bubble Mountain. My favorite room name. Worst room in the game is also a pretty fun name. I also like Bubble Mountain. I know that's called the Mickey Mouse room, but I just call it Kingdom Hearts. There's a lot of good names.
Kingdom Hearts is a pretty good name, actually. I'd call it that.
Yeah, there's like the official, this is what's on the speedrun wiki, right? And then I come up with my own names.
Nice.
You're very consistent about calling that Kingdom Hearts.
Just like the turbo tube. Eddie informed me that thing was called the turbo tube. The tube that takes you between takes you into the sound system. I call it I used to just call it just the toilet, just straight up the toilet.
I told you it was called the turbo tube.
You told me to call it the turbo tube. It's like, okay, now I call it the turbo toilet. So.
Oh, okay.
That thing flushes you with great force.
Oh, yeah. Turbo toilet sounds about right. Getting flushed into the sand holes below with all the other gooey stuff.
Chat, this is good. I would love to hear what are your favorite names for a variety of the speedrun terminology, Super Metroid rooms. Not all of them are super funny, but there are quite a few that are.
Ooh, nice spark.
Oh yeah, the Billy Mays room is a classic. But I don't think we go there in this run. So.
Oh, no. I have to be really careful here.
All right, the reserve first.
Don't get the missile, or we have to reset. Oh.
Okay.
Good job. All right, run valid.
For now.
For now.
Yes. I'm following along, making sure you don't mess us up. Oh god, the pants room. I forgot about the pants room.
Okay. Not the cleanest of rooms, but that's a tough one.
I actually saw a Billy Mays ad on TV like 2 months ago. Now, I don't watch TV. I was at my parents' house and they're watching like old TV channels. And then I heard the noise that I've only seen this guy in YouTube videos. Like, wait a second, hold on. What the heck? How old is this ad? It had to have been like a 25-plus-year-old ad that they were playing. I was like, dang, I saw one in the wild. It was an experience. I'll never forget it.
So why do they call it the Billy Mays room?
Because his catchphrase is, and that's not all. Because there's two items in there. There's one item there. And they have the Ron, whatever his name is, room.
Yeah,
that one. But his catchphrase is, but wait, there's more. There's 3 items in that room.
All right, nice ice beam acquisition. So we are complete with step 26. So step 27. Finally, with that ice beam, MGA, I think with this ice beam, you can make it up to those power bombs.
We'll see.
Based on this guide.
Ice escape was definitely on that chart, right?
Never mind that little piece of tech that you did to get into that gate. Yeah, well, we're gonna. I don't know how you did that, but must have been an accident.
Yeah, we'll chalk it up to that. Just an accident.
Yeah. Beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck, yeah.
I love these sparks. This is a cool one.
Alpha Spark.
It's a great
Don't
one.
always have the health to do it, but in this case we do. Nice utilization of Ice Beam.
Well, I have it, might as well use it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Good thing you have that Ice Beam.
Tech. It gets it out of the way. Oh my gosh, that was clean. Yeah, you have to like fall down because that gets the upper, whatever these enemies are called. For me, everything in Super Metroid's a gamer. Okay.
Everything is a gamer. Yeah, those little slugs, gamers.
Yeah, the little guys that go up and down like a sine wave. Those are gamers.
Yeah, the big brain, gamer.
Yeah, it's a gamer.
Well,
we got
that-
green gamer, we got leg gamer, we got fast gamer, we got yellow splooge gamer or something.
MJ just picked up the missile gamer. Right before that was the power gamer. All right. So, yeah, Fantoon currently inaccessible, so we're gonna have to go find a solution for that, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to get to the wreck ship.
Yeah, I think
still
there's a
need to-
big body of water we have no possible way to cross.
Right,
So,
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to follow this guide.
Let me check the Nintendo Power Guide on how to avoid falling into these pits.
Impossible.
So where are we going now?
Yeah, well, like we mentioned earlier, there's no possible way to cross a body of water to get to the wreck ship, so we're gonna have to go defeat Crocomire to get the grapple beam.
Oh my, yes.
And we're also gonna pick up a few safeties along the way, of course.
Yep. Looks like this is what's going on with step 29 through step 32.
But remember, we can't get too many safeties because this is the way to beat Metroid as quickly as possible.
Right, we're still trying to obtain the best ending.
We got a good question, chat. What is Nintendo Power Percent? Well, Nintendo released a guide in 1994 of how to beat Super Metroid fast. And you can see a scan of that magazine page in the pinned message in chat. So you can click on it, and it tells you step by step which items you need to go get in order to beat Super Metroid. They warn you it's pretty dangerous, pretty difficult, because limited energy, limited weapons, you're not getting everything. Okay, so we have to follow that guide to the T. So we can't get any item not listed there, and it has to be obtained in the exact order as listed in the guide.
I'm a little shocked that it actually tells you to do this.
Yeah. I was thinking, should I wait for the drops and then go grab this C-Tank?
It actually wants you to do this before grapple. That's kind of surprising, given everything else it made you do.
Yeah. But remember, we can't get to wreck ship. There's no possible way to get to wreck ship.
No way.
Yep,
No
yep.
way.
We still need the grapple beam.
Yep. But there was a possible way to get that energy tank over there without the use of the grapple blocks.
Right.
Yep. That was pretty swag.
That's what we're in here
Also
for.
looked like beginner's luck.
Yeah, Max.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Am I reading this correctly? Is this for real?
Yeah.
Oh, you're reading it correctly, Eddie.
Step 30
Explain
was
to the
that
class what is shocking you here.
it wants you to get this missile for the grappling beam. Okay.
Nintendo thinks you can wall jump.
Yep.
They know you can wall jump.
There we go.
All right, grapple beam, nice.
Well done.
Thank you.
Seems like Nintendo Power knew that getting that missile the intended way was actually impossible.
It's so hard.
They tried it out
it's so
themselves and they're like,
ridiculously
no.
Just like how nobody ever goes to the Grapple Room DLC. All right, back out we go. We get some power bombs, more missiles, then the wave beam, and then X-ray scope. We're going all over the place.
Taking a tour around Zebus.
A little bit of backtracking, but it is a Metroid game. Backtracking is to be expected.
Wait, MG. I think they wanted you to grapple that little ripper to get over here.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we got the grappling beam, and then that's why we get the power bomb
Right,
after that.
of course. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Think that you did well right there.
Thanks for reminding me. Actually, didn't know that was like a feature in the game.
I do like here in the defeat Fantoon step, we do have Samus in the correct position, left side of the screen. That's where you want to be during that fight. So good advice from Nintendo in 1994.
That is true. I'm actually having a lot of fun like looking at this guide and trying to decode like exactly why we're getting like wave beam now. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, there was no way to get it before grapple.
Yeah, there's no other way to do it. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
You need grapple beam.
of course.
Oh my gosh.
One of these wall jumps to get up here is expected in the Club Nintendo route. It expects you to go from the bottom to the reserve.
Does it
I guess
really?
we also did the same thing without grapple beam here. So yeah, it expects you to wall jump up there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's not the freest wall jump. It's a little bit precise.
It actually expects you to damage boost over.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see you use this grapple. Oh wait,
Oh,
what?
oops.
Just for
Wait.
me, MGA, can you grapple on the way back? Make sure you don't take spike damage.
Yeah. I actually
Just,
forgot
just
you
for
can,
me.
I
Please
forgot you
humor
grapple
me.
those.
We need to do it the way Nintendo intended. Yeah. There we go.
Excellent.
Love to see it.
As Nintendo intended. Yep.
As Nintendo intended.
Okay, so step 36, because we absolutely need to get this X-ray scope.
There are some
Very
very
important that we get
well
this
hidden items.
How else are you going to know where the destructible items are?
Yeah, you think the guide's gonna tell us? No way.
And Eddie, these categories are great.
No. A mistake in a speedrun? Impossible.
Speedrun? What? First time playing? You mean?
Oh, right. Sorry. Well,
Yeah.
I mean that.
Okay, hold on. Okay, optimally, would it have been best if you got a spike suit from Croc
And then done what?
for the X-ray scope?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is that theoretically optimal?
Possibly.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah. I think you might be able to keep it for that long, yeah. New
All right,
tech.
we gotta get Zenny to run this.
He has run it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm not
have you beat
surprised.
him, though?
I do have him beat.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna send this video to him.
Oh no, please. In the middle of those damage boosts, I remembered I had grapple beam. Good use that.
Yeah. I'm glad you did it the intended way for 2 grapples.
Yeah.
I wonder what the idea was of them getting you extra. I actually can't think about why they would have wanted you to get this.
Oh, so you can X mode, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to show that to us right now?
Well, I have to play the intended way. So.
I like the step 37 cutout right here where they show Samus just kind of hanging there. Just chilling.
Oops. I need a super, actually. There you go. Let's watch this spike fly along with us.
My favorite is when it hits you when you get on the elevator.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. All right, what's after this? What missile we getting?
The missile right at moat. From the body of water we cannot cross.
Right, without grapple beam, of course.
Yes. No other way we could have done it.
Yeah, see, just like that.
Perfect. Thanks, Nintendo Power.
All right, now we have to defeat Fantoon. Sounds like a
Hey, I'm not sure you
daunting
can do
task.
it. You only have 54 missiles.
Yeah, limited energy and weaponry.
I mean, yeah, look at my energy right now. This is looking pretty scary.
That is looking pretty grim.
Oops. All right, so I'm actually gonna turn off my ice and spacer here.
Oh, Kiara's a big fan of that.
Oh, here we go. All right. Let's
Oh,
see.
but you're gonna see
call
the-
this one. All right. Fantoon has a 50% chance of going left or right, and from there can go. Okay, we got right. Oh, we got the fast pattern right. This is absolutely amazing. Can we get all of them? Okay, so Fantoon is sitting here
Oh my gosh.
at low health. Oh, we're doing some Doppler at the end. Oh no! Unfortunately, we missed getting the super in there. It's okay though.
Oh my god. Those would be so funny if I got it for a third time in a row. Holy cow.
Did you just get 3 passes?
Yeah. That was crazy. RNG minute.
Very good. GG's.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah, beginner's luck. I just saw my friend do that, so I was like, I might copy what he's doing.
Yeah.
That X Factor gets him down to 900 HP. Then you can finish him off with a couple missiles and a super. But unfortunately, we didn't get all the way. Still good. Still alive. That was a close one. You know, this Nintendo Power Guide is no joke.
No joke.
Hey,
It's scary.
Nice little wave beam shots to break the blocks in a way where you can jump and morph up. I know Kiara's a fan of that strat too.
Oh yeah, I am. You got me.
All right, Kiara, this is your next strat.
Yeah.
Yep.
This one.
Yep.
God, it's so cool. It's so cool. Look at that. God, it's so dang sexy every time. Oh.
Actually, it's really hard.
Oh, I know it is. I tried to do it once and like, I did not. I couldn't even with save states like accomplish it once.
Yep, it's very, very, very complex. Actually, it's very impressive that you nailed that one. Beginner's luck, of course.
Yeah, beginner's luck.
Yeah. You just kind of hit the buttons and it just kind of worked out that way.
I just figured something like that was possible. Yeah.
All right. Step 40. Step 40, gravity suit. Coming right up.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's a spring ball is the next item, doesn't it?
Is that a... Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. All right.
Hang on, hold on. There has to be a mistake. No.
Is that for real?
Yeah. Step 41. Got to go to Meridia. Get the spring ball. MGA, do you know why this is the case?
Gosh.
Yeah, so there's an item, I think, in Meridia that's impossible to grab without Spring Ball. So we're going to have to go and grab Spring Ball before we go do anything else.
Gotcha.
You know, because of my limited weaponry, I really need to make sure to get as many super missiles as I possibly can.
No way. Is that really why they want you to get spring ball?
Hey, limited energy. Limited energy.
I mean, actually, I don't really know why they want you to get spring ball. It's literally one of the most nonsensical items to put in this route. Well, maybe not as much as X-ray, but still, like, why? Why are we doing this?
You know what's like also comical to me? Like they, you know, they're making you get like extra super missiles, but like they don't want you to get the right side super missiles either.
Yeah.
From wreck ship.
Well, those are really hard to find, even with X-ray. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. We get X-ray just so that we don't get items that we can use that for. Yeah, it's great.
Oops, I almost had it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and actually open this door with missiles. On my way back from Spring Ball, I'm gonna try and do a green gate glitch, so I want as many supers as possible. Oh my god, get out of my way. Oh my god. Okay, alright.
Yum.
Whee. Yeah, this really is. It's a special route.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wanted you to spark across the sand halls like that.
Definitely not
Yeah.
spring ball or anything.
Yep. And then they wanted you to get up there.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't. That's so crazy that they want you to do this.
And then they want you to damage boost off the bug so you don't get knocked down.
It's so crazy.
All right, everybody say hi, Shack Tool. This is the only any percent route that gets this item.
It is a very
Actually,
useful
I'm not entirely sure on that fact. We'll need to get that.
I think you are actually right. Pretty sure. Except maybe something like all alphabetical major item order, something like that. Some even more wacky stuff.
Nice little shot on the snail. So the snail digs the last few sand out. All right. Good thing we step 41. We acquired the spring ball. That's really gonna, help us for the rest of the game.
Yeah. That's very helpful.
Yep.
Look how nice it is now.
Yep. Our energy and weaponry are limited, but we have spring balls, so
That will help
I
us
had to read that
defeat the
line.
bosses.
It was important.
yeah, that short charge was that was expected from this
Yeah.
route.
They really wanted you to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Yep. They wanted you to first try that too.
First try green gate glitch. That's the route.
Yep.
And you have to get the C-Tank first, so unfortunately I can't do really cool grapple strats here, unfortunately. And I wish I could.
Yep. As Nintendo intended. Nintended.
Oops, I think I let go too late.
All right, I think I'm seeing the reason why we need to go out of our way for that spring ball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You got the
Yeah.
tech?
Yeah. There's no other way we could do this, right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
We need
That was crazy.
that. I know.
We bounced up there. Surely there's nothing else that could propel us up there and let us get those super missiles. There's no other way.
No other way. That's why we needed spring ball. All right, so Batum's coming up. That's a really difficult boss fight. So there's a few other items that I want to make sure to grab before I have to go fight him.
What do you need to be comfortable here?
I think if I got an extra missile, super missile, that'd be nice. Like these guys right here.
62 missiles and 14 supers sounds about right.
Well, see, this is actually makes perfect sense because Batun takes 10 super missiles to die. So we only have 9. So it's actually really smart that we go in there to get the 10th one because it probably saves time overall.
Right.
And this also allows you some buffer, so a little bit of safety as well. For if you miss a super missile, you still have a couple spares. So you can miss 4 shots and be okay.
You see how this is MJ's first time ever doing this, following this guide. So he got by that those little trap blocks before the supers.
Yeah, it got me too, Eddie, on my first playthrough. Type 1, if on your first playthrough, it also you also fell down those blocks. It definitely got a lot of people. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. If I counted correctly. That should be it, right?
3 more just in case. You can never be too careful. MJ definitely forgot
MGA, first time playing the game, not as efficient at counting super missiles as I, the person sitting in the commentary booth, not having to play the game, can count for him. Oh, this is probably also why we need, never mind. Probably going through there would require some spring ball.
Right.
All right. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Come on.
Oh.
Yes! Oh, no.
It was too
The
low.
P.
too. Halfy.
Yeah, got the halfie.
Yep.
Not the full halfie.
Yeah.
It's okay.
this was-
We'll get Spike Suit coming out, right? And do
Oh,
the
of course.
reverse halfie, whatever. I don't know what that trick is called, where you Spike Suit or Blue Suit in Dragon.
Reverse
Then you
halfy.
could spark out. Yeah, the reverse halfie. Okay, that makes sense to me.
If this wasn't MJ's first time playing, I think he would have gotten the full halfy.
Yeah, true. Have to agree with that one.
I'm amazed you need to go for that.
All right, my missile count's looking a little low for this fight. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to beat Dragon. To be honest, this is gonna.
Yeah,
be
you gotta be a
scary.
little careful here. Dragon was 6,000 HP. You only got like 5 missiles extra in excess. So
Is that a 2550 right there?
that looked like a 2550 to me. Oh,
Nice. You conserved a lot of missiles as well. That was great. Oh, there's the suit. Let's go.
It's actually a little bit harder because I have spring bow on.
oh, that's actually way harder.
Yeah, because I have.
Can't unmorph with jump. Have to unmorph with up.
Right.
Well, the timing is very different when you have to press. When you press jump at a specific timing, it's way easier than up jump. All right, so as a first-time runner, it's going to be kind of difficult to get through here. I'm sure MJ can do it though.
Nice.
Nice. Well done.
Never done that
Prodigy.
before. It's my first time.
Prodigy beginner player here.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just pressing random buttons here. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, so defeat Dragon was step 50, space jump step 51. Now we're going to plasma beam. Surely MGA can pull something off here. Oh my gosh, that's actually really, really hard.
That's my first time doing that. Wow.
Yeah, first time doing that. Yeah. Yep.
I had no idea that was possible.
Yep. You probably had like 2 frames of leniency to get that spark in, and you got it. That was pretty sick. Very lucky.
Yeah, very, very lucky.
As a beginner, like that's kind of lucky for you to be able to get. Okay, but for real, that plasma spark is incredibly hard to do. You think full half is hard? That's probably twice the difficulty, is my guess.
Wow.
Yeah, I would consider it twice the difficulty. Usually the first time people get that is they only have 1 or 2 frames to spare. Literally 1/60th of a second, I remember, is the first few times I ever got it. Actually, MJ, I think you have like the record of the most frames, the like remaining getting plasma spark. Is that right?
Yeah, the most I
Was
ever
it
had
15
it
or
was
16?
17. 18 with some weird shenanigans that shouldn't count. To
Yeah.
17
And for
frames.
reference, like full half, you like what we can get like 32 or something.
Yeah.
And that's what sometimes people can get like 30 or something like that. So it's like maybe quite literally like twice as hard or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not to mention the movement is a lot more complicated than just wall jumps. So yeah, beginner's luck.
Pretty much, yeah. Just beginner's luck.
All right. So plasma, and now we're going to step 53. We're gonna get that missile.
Yeah, that missile. Interesting. Oh, that's why they wanted you to get spring ball.
Spring ball.
For the crumble blocks.
The thing is, the space jump is not reliable there, right? Spring ball, on the other hand, guaranteed. You just hold the jump button while you're in morph.
Right.
Never fall. I find it amusing that they want you to get that missile at this point.
Well, you know, limited energy and
Limited
weaponry.
ammunition.
It's tough out here, man.
True.
So I imagine
It's tough out
we should have skipped some beams. Are we sure we got it right?
I think we've got everything. I can check the pause menu really quickly.
Well, we don't need screw attack at least.
Yeah. Here, let me check. Oh, yeah,
we
I
need screw
mean, looks
attack?
like we got everything.
Screw attack?
Well, the guide says
maybe
to grab
so.
screw attack, so might as well, right?
Yep. Fun fact, in the vanilla game, this Chozo does not activate unless you have space jump. So even if you uncover it with power bombs, literally won't grab you.
Yeah. So silly. I found that out the hard way. I think in SMZ3 that it also retains that behavior.
Okay, let's do this the intended way.
Yep, that's why we get spring ball right there. You know, if you fell there, the run's over, isn't it?
Oh yeah, is it? Actually,
Yeah,
I'm not
defeat
sure.
Golden Chorizo 54.
Wait,
You'd be out of order.
oh yeah, huh? Wait, am I supposed to get the super missile now? No, okay.
Nah, you
I was
killed
freaking out for a bit. I wasn't sure. Because like Hondo, you don't get it, but I wasn't sure.
You get the item, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're good. We're good. No lost runs here.
Yeah, you fall there, you have to beat GT to get out, so
Right.
be over. Maybe the most dangerous part of the run.
Yeah.
All right. Screw attack and Ridley, and gotta get the Ridley E-tank, looks like.
That puts us up at 7. Perfect amount for stand-up glitch.
That's true.
Dear Force knew.
Intended. Therefore, Snoop.
I love this spark. In fact, is there a spark I don't like? I'm trying to think. I mean, executing for sure, but watching someone do it who's better, yeah, that feels good.
Is there a shine spark you dislike, MGA?
I don't think so. I mean, all shine sparks are really cool.
I do like how in Metroid Dread they kind of turned that into a big thing of carrying your shine spark between rooms and through pathways. Obviously, the mechanic's very different, but I'm happy they leaned into it.
I don't, I'm actually trying to remember because I haven't seen Dread in a while, but you can even like wall jump off walls, right? And keep it? Yeah, that's really cool actually. I think it's pretty good tech.
A little bit different than Super Metroid.
Just a tad.
Oh.
Oops.
Got some difficult metal pirates coming up.
Oh,
wow.
Sick.
That was pretty lucky.
Oh, lucky.
Man, this guy's getting really lucky. I can't believe it.
Might be the luckiest runner in the world.
The luckiest beginner's luck of all time.
Yeah.
All right, good luck beating Ridley with limited weaponry and energy.
Good luck.
20 shots to the dome.
But Eddie, MGA is going over the door, causing the AI to go haywire. I mean, clearly that's new player material.
An amateur play right there. Oh, that's why we need Spring Ball.
Yeah, had to jump into his claws.
Oh, Nintendo power. Never failed to give us good information. All right. Final item.
Yep. That's it. We have all the items we need to beat the game.
On to Turian and Mother Brain. No pictures to assist us here.
We gotta figure it out ourselves, but there's no more items to grab. Well, Eddie, what do you think MGA's chances are here with only 7 E-tanks and 1 reserve?
Oof.
I think
if he's
or wait, no, it is 1. Wait, what?
That was a pretty awesome backup. Like placing the power bomb too low, then just clip it through the floor.
That is actually.
You gotta spin jump. You gotta spin jump in there, press up right as you bonk the ceiling, and you kind of clip through 2 block spaces like that.
We actually lay the power bomb at a very specific height, so we actually get the clip there like that.
Oh, that was intentional. Okay.
It was intentional.
No, I mean, what do you
job.
mean, Eddie? It's not even intentional. What do you mean?
Oh, that's true.
I messed up there, so I just had to figure out a way to get out. I didn't really want to place another power bomb. Too lazy.
Yeah. Complete beginner's luck once again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The luck on this guy.
Oh, but we can't get that E-tank. We don't need it.
That spring ball usage right there.
Nintendo says no.
Wow, using 2 of your 82 missiles. Very daring of you.
Make sure to save enough to take out the Zepatites.
True. Definitely need those.
Yeah. If you're not careful, you'll get stuck. They take quite a lot of missiles to break through, and there's no other way you can really get through unless you use all your
12
missiles.
each?
11.
11 each.
I want to say it's 10 if you could literally just unload 10 missiles at once, but they regen health. So that's why it has to be 11, I believe.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you could do like 2 missiles plus 3 supers to try to be a little bit efficient. But yeah, I mean, there's no other way MJ is going to get across, so he's going to have to figure that out. That's why he needs his ammo, right?
Right, yeah. I don't know. I've never seen Tyrion before, so I don't even know what you guys are talking about, to be honest.
That's true. Good luck finding it. No pictures to assist us this time.
It's hidden pretty well.
I'm just going where
You
my
have to
heart
check your
takes me.
map.
Just, you got that feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Got a feeling.
I'm getting a sense.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
It's got to be around here somewhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe on the other side of the ship. There may be some rooms we haven't checked.
All right, I'm going to go check those real quick.
Yeah.
I can smell it.
You know, you could have saved the ship if you wanted. Gives you a refill and everything, too.
Oh, I had no idea. Damn.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
It's in the past now.
Too late now, right? Too late now.
Yeah, I don't turn back.
Yeah. How you live your life, right?
Yeah. I live my
Never
life on the
turn
line.
Only moving forward.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, look at this shockingly pink door.
Oh, wow.
Is
this
it possible? Very random question. Is it possible to beat? No, I don't think it is. I was gonna say beat Super Metroid without revisiting a single room. I think it is impossible because of Ridley. Unless there's some secret way to escape there with glitches to wrong warp out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to do it without backtracking. Sounds really tough. Like backtracking is literally like the name of the game when it comes to Super Metroid.
Well, like Ceres, right? It's like already impossible, I guess.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Unless you
I
don't
didn't
count
think
that.
I don't think I thought very hard about it. But I've never played the game either, so please forgive me.
Yeah, it's a casual playthrough here.
Yeah, that's why we're all following this guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you can check out in the pinned messages, though we've collected all the steps. We are in the Onwards to Tyrion and Mother Brain part, and oh my god, what was that?
What are
Oh,
these?
these things, they look like jellyfish.
Yeah.
I love seeing all the different strats for the Metroid rooms. MM2 earlier did a really amazing one on Metroid 3. That was
Yep.
I don't think I'd ever seen that done, and
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
MGA was definitely not trying to attempt the same strat and messed up a little bit.
No, yeah, definitely not. I mean, M2 has a buff. He plays on a keyboard.
It is true.
Eddie,
What's
on a
this?
scale of 1 to hitbox, how does that line up?
Keyboard.
I don't know what that
MJ, I
thing
think you were
was, but
I think you were supposed to get. I think that thing was trying to grab you. Maybe it was trying to tell you something.
I don't know. It looked kind of scary. I didn't want it to grab me.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, legit random question that I have that I now just forgot because I got distracted by, the big scary Metroid. Shoot, this is gonna bug me. I had a very good question I was gonna ask you. Now I can't remember. This is the worst when this happens. All right,
Big scary Super Metroid.
I'll think about it here. Oh yeah, this is what it is. How many SNES controllers have you gone throughout your years speedrunning Super Metroid?
I'm actually pretty good with my controllers. A lot of top runners usually go through like 5 to 10 controllers a year or something like that if you're playing all the time. I've actually, in my entire 8 years of speedrunning, have only gone through about 4 or 5 actually.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I have a question for you, MJ. Are you using Oates' controller?
No, actually, that one broke.
Oh, you changed it? I have a funny story, actually. I think you went to a GDQ recently, I think, somewhere?
Well, this was
Oates.
3 years ago, I think.
And Oates made, yeah. And Oates made your controller, I believe?
Oates gave a bunch of us controllers, all of us who attended.
Okay, yeah. And I remember, was it Zenny that was there? I remember that funny thing where, they basically, it was you specifically.
Yeah.
They tried your controller, and they were every single one of them said, this is completely unplayable.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
I like really beaten down controllers because I grip mine really hard. So yeah, so that's why I don't go through as many controllers as other runners because I kind of just use them until they're literally unplayable. I can't even move Samus anymore.
For reference, someone was asking why MGA turned off Varia. It just makes the stand-up a little bit easier, because if you turn off Varia, you take 600 damage for the Rainbow Beam, and that just makes things a little bit smoother. But, given that this is MGA's first run, it was just purely coincidental.
Just purely coincidental.
Yeah, yes. I just thought at that moment I kind of wanted to turn off Varia, because I didn't really need it anymore,
Yeah. It's kind of really funny that Samus is able to just move here and just pummel Mother Brain like this.
Yeah, I mean, isn't this how you're supposed to fight Mother Brain? I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, you could move. Why not just shoot Mother Brain right now, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah. Seems pretty easy to me. I don't know why people have such a problem with this.
I mean, you just get the shooter for free. It's not that complicated.
Come on, guys. Come on.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for completing the guide. So all that's left is getting to the ship.
Gotta find your way. I believe in you. You can do this. Ooh, 3 minutes. All right.
Yep. First time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get Spring Ball.
Yeah.
That's why you get Spring Ball. Oh, it all makes sense. Wow, Nintendo.
Whoa, you fell so fast. Whoa. Wait, how did he go through that? How did he go through that? What? That was amazing. All right, here we go. No animals being saved today. We already saved them earlier. And that is GG.
GG.
Although we may have been memeing this entire run, legit, there's a lot of super impressive stuff that you were doing all run long. I do really appreciate it.
He actually pulled off some really, really nasty stuff, like the perfect attic back at Wreck Ship.
The
that was
attic,
nasty.
I'm still thinking about. I'm gonna have dreams about that attic.
Yeah,
of
that's
me
clip
one day
worthy.
being able to do that.
You got Plasma Spark
Perfect
too?
execution. Plasma Spark. Ooh, that was spicy. That's a hard one.
Well, MGA, good job on the run. Thank you for coming to showcase a little bit of the less seen Super Metroid categories. I love both of these showcases. Is there a category you have not done on the leaderboard?
There's a
Have
few.
you done them all?
I've been trying to do them all, but pretty much the only ones left are like the really, really tough ones that are like, I mean, they're really hard to even complete.
And
So
80% blindfolded next, right? So,
yeah, blindfold is the next goal for me.
is it really?
No, I'm not. I can't do that.
You sold. I was fully convinced that the blindfolded arc was coming.
Maybe someday, like 20 years down the road, where I'm in like the retirement home, where like Rando just isn't doing it for me anymore, so I need to like gouge my eyes out to play Super Metroid.
God. Oh, jeez. It's getting a little late. Thanks everybody so much for watching Game Masters today, and Eddie, thank you for joining on comms the whole night. And MGA, thanks for sticking it out, getting us comms for MM2's run earlier of the max percent Suitless, as well as showcasing these today. Before we wrap for the night, I want you to take the opportunity to shout yourself out. Tell us what you got coming up, what you got on your stream, what we can look forward to for MGA in the future.
Yeah. I've been busy with like life stuff, so I haven't been able to stream too much. But I do have a really cool relay race coming up. The whole Super Metroid community is, getting together, doing our annual relay marathon race, where we have 4 teams going up against each other, and we're displaying a bunch of categories, much like Nintendo Power Percent. And that will be like a whole day-long thing, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, do you have a date when that's happening, or is it to be scheduled?
It is to be scheduled, but hopefully it's going to be sometime April, May.
April or May? Okay,
that's the
April
goal.
and May. Stick around the Super Metroid speedrunning community. I'm sure people will be talking about it. That sounds like a lot of fun. I would fail. I would bring my team down if I participated, but best of luck to you and whoever your squad ends up being.
Thank you.
But yeah, please everybody go follow Mr. Guy Average. Wonderful Super Metroid runner, just super immense game knowledge. Like, I think if having run as many categories as you have, you just gotta really know the ins and outs of everything in this game, because some of them are very specific, require a little bit of very difficult tech to do, and oftentimes extremely specific tech, like the free Dachora RTA. Yeah, stop you at a pixel perfect thing to make sure that thing can get through. It's like, you're not doing that in any other category. But again, thank you both. I hope you had fun tonight. And before we wrap, I just want to remind everybody that if you missed out on RNG earlier today or Game Masters, stay tuned as we replay both shows after this. Tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for the premiere of our 2 new shows for this season, Out of the Box and Creature Corner. See you next time on Game Masters, everybody. I've been Kiara.